let me do it.
Pedigree, 1, 2, 3, project you live as a champ. A last ride straight to hell, a tombstone, a choke slam. Here to give it to you raw. This is Wrestling with Savage. Smackdown, hold the title. This is Wrestling with Savage. What?
Wrestling with Savage begins now.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Savage Storm Super Wrestling Show, Wrestling Super Show. Call it whatever you want. It does not matter, because tonight is the night you're going to meet my co-host, DJ Storms. Jay's going to be here in a little bit, but you are watching, guaranteed, without a shadow of a doubt, the absolute greatest wrestling podcast in the history of humanity. Anyone that's ever used a computer and clicked Gone Live, we're killing it, and we're better than you right now, and you know it. This is DJ Storms. I am Savage from Savage Kingdom Promotions, but Storms, let them know.
Oh, you damn right I'm going to let them know, because in case y'all haven't realized, we are on the motherfucking air. He is the incomparable Greek Savage. I am DJ motherfucking Storms. And I would like to welcome each and every single one of you to episode number 1, numero uno of the Savage Storm Wrestling Super Show, where we are going to dissect all the latest news, rumors, and reports in pro wrestling. We're going to give you your weekend rundown of all major results that happen in the world of pro wrestling across all major weekly shows. And above all else, we're going to do it the way that we know how. We're going to do it the right way. But Savage, it is a pleasure to be here with you. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing very good, man. We're here early tonight. TNA hasn't even started, because we are going to be watching TNA live with the folks, updating everybody. Because listen, TNA's got to be must watch now. What a week in professional wrestling. If you consider what's just happened in the last week, right? You had King of the Ring, Double or Nothing, Monday Night Raw, NXT, AEW. And I can say, out of all the nights that I watched professional wrestling, and of course with King and Queen of the Ring, daytime wrestling, wow, NXT, holy shit, dude. For me, NXT just blew the roof off of professional wrestling and laid the first little nail maybe in the coffin of, because now you got to be thinking this is an attack. This is intentional. This is, I'm telling you, without a doubt, these kind of movements where we're just opening the doors and telling everybody, yep, TNA's here now on NXT and NXT's on TNA. Like that's a big, you want to see booking, bitch?
Well, we'll talk about that going forward. We'll talk about that when we get into the NXT portion of the show for sure. But I'm going to withhold my personal take on that until we get to the actual analytical portion of the show. But Savage, before we get into what we're going to get into, let me ask you, over the course of the last week, and I'd like to do this as a new segment every week, out of all of the weekly shows, and I'm talking about just the weekly shows, not the pay-per-views, what would you say was the best weekly show? And I'm pretty sure
NXT, because go watch my live streams that I'm doing. Like the NXT, I went nuts for Jordan Grace, because that shit was crazy to just see the TNA title on NXT, a TV show, and just like the progression that they've made, the relationship building that they've done. This connection that Triple H has made over there with Impact, which, by the way, has WWE legends and Hall of Famers that are part of creative. I mean, there are a lot of brotherhoods there. We're not just talking about friendships, okay? Guys like Tommy Dreamer, Triple H, Bully Ray, Mark Henry's probably going to go. I think Mark Henry is going to be the first cross-promotion talent between TNA. I think Mark Henry is really going to bridge the gap between TNA and WWE because of his connection with TNA and the members that are there. Because guess what? He does a podcast with them called Busted Open. So it makes sense that he's going to want to see, TNA thrive. And if he can do that by using WWE as like a launching pad, it's going to be wild, man. NXT killed it. NXT killed it, brother.
I'll have to go back and rewatch it because I did not get into the specifics regarding NXT. But
see, you're not going to appreciate it the same way I did, only because I watched it, had no idea what was coming, either for Jordan Grace or Ethan Page. Now you already know both has happened. It's just not going to hit the same.
Well, listen. It's not really about hitting the same for me. I'm thinking about it in terms of a long term. But here's what I will say. I may as well just get it out.
Look, David Carbello, you shut your mouth about NXT and Sexy Red. I don't care who she is.
Sexy Red that was garbage. I'll tell you that. That was absolute garbage.
I'm not going to argue that. She was twerking, for Christ's sakes, on USA Network. I'm sure they love that shit.
Yeah, I know, right? Listen, if I wanted to go watch provocative shit, I'll just pop on Pornhub. But at the end of the fucking day, here's what I will say regarding the two major happenings that happened on NXT. Number one, Ethan Page. I am very excited to see what Ethan Page does, and that is probably the best route for him. He was given a certain role in AEW and Ring of Honor, and he made the most out of that. But in the end, he really wasn't going anywhere simply because of the fact that it's not because he's not great. And I've used this with a lot of professional wrestlers. Professional wrestlers, they don't really go anywhere, not because they're not great, but because there's so much talent who are ahead of them. I mean, who would you rather see in AEW or Ring of Honor? Would you rather see Ethan Page or an Eddie Kingston? Ethan Page or Darby Allin? Ethan Page or MJF? Ethan Page or Swerve Strickland? It's shit like that. But with NXT was really hurt coming out of the draft. And the fact that they were hurt so much coming out of the draft, that made NXT a place where a lot of spots needed to be filled. Ethan Page, he slid in. He is automatically one of the top guys. And I cannot think of a better person to take the championship off of Trick Williams than Ethan Page, which I am predicting is going to be at NXT Heatwave when they go to Canada for Money in the Bank weekend. Now, Jordan Grace, I do believe that is going to be beneficial for the women's division as a whole, because the NXT women's division, they do need some help. They were not all that hot coming into 2024, but with the inclusion of Jordan Grace and a potential TNA crossover, that is definitely going to aid not only the women's division, but it could possibly aid the tag team division, the mid-card division. There's a lot of different routes that they can go. However, in the long term, I'm not going to sit here and say that it's going to be much of a difference maker, because nothing's really a difference maker nowadays. Will it make the show better? Sure. But after a while, similar with what happened with AEW and Impact when they were in a partnership, it's ultimately going to get old. People are going to grow numb to it, and it's not going to feel as special. However, listen, they play their cards right. We're going to get some great cross-promotional matches. So, on the positive side, I am looking forward to seeing what Ethan Page does, and I'm looking forward to seeing which individuals are cross-promoted between NXT and TNA.
It's going to be very interesting to see what's going to happen over the next year. I've never been more hyped to be a wrestling fan in the year 2024. Just so many different possibilities, scenarios that can come from this. I'll give credit to Ethan Page. Listen, whatever he did in WWE is nothing compared to what he did in AEW, because he was in AEW for 3.5 years. But guess what he did in AEW? He did nothing for 3.5 years. WWE did more with him in 30.5 seconds than AEW did in 3.5 years. Oh, I fucking would go that far, because he went after the main fucking guy on primetime TV to end the night, holding the title at the end of the night. The last image that millions and millions, and I'll say it again like The Rock, the millions of people who were watching that show around the world and the highlights, they saw Ethan Page for the first time in a light that they never have before. Tony Khan never let him hold the world title in the middle of the ring to end the show. What are you talking about, man? They made him look like a G.
30 seconds of NXT is not equivalent to 3.5 years in AEW. Okay,
You're right.
Calm
It's
yourself
fucking
down.
better. It's
Calm
fucking
yourself
better.
down.
It's
Because here's the thing.
it's
Here's
at the
the thing.
top
He
of
hasn't
his
even
highlight
competed in
career.
any matches yet. Because
Oh,
the matches
yeah?
that he's had in AEW,
Yeah?
he's had some great
Yeah?
matches in AEW.
Guess what? That video he did on
All
WWE
about merit.
has
It's all
more
about
views
longevity.
than
He's only been there
everything.
for 30 seconds.
Storms, and this is crazy. You won't even believe it, but it's true. Okay. That clip between TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and every other fucking social media on planet Earth, that clip has more views than everything Ethan Page has done in 3.5 years on EEW. And that means something, bro. Because at the end of the day, you have to understand, this is a business, and in order to do good business, you want to make money here on the Savage Storm Show, we have to appeal to the masses. Everybody has to understand and know that this is the greatest wrestling podcast of all time.
Yeah,
And
because I'm the guy that's spitting the facts right here. I'm just letting you off
Facts.
with a warning here.
First
right?
of all, this shouldn't be called facts when it's opinions. I have opinions, you have opinions, and everybody has opinions.
When it comes from my mouth, motherfucker, it's the facts.
Listen, it's a fact because you say so. All right, relax yourself, my
I'm
friend.
the sexiest motherfucker on the planet. Ain't that right, Jay? Ain't that right, Jay?
Self-proclaimed, but yeah, I'm not gonna argue with you. You got the comb ready to go. This kid is a walking fucking gimmick. I like it. I ain't gonna complain about it. Jay over here has upgraded. He's moved to the penthouse because all the connections he's made through the Savage Kingdom. George or Savage, whatever you want to call me. The wrestlers know me as George. Because some of these wrestlers, they want to talk to George.
Who the hell is George?
George the Greek Savage. You don't know George the Greek Savage?
No.
No? Well,
No.
I should introduce you to him. George the Greek
I don't think
Savage.
anybody.
George the Greek Savage is the greatest human being of all time. When I walk into a room, I automatically assume I am better and smarter and better looking than everyone in that room. Probably what DJ Storms thinks. But you have to have this kind of mentality. You have to have this kind of attitude to become the best at what you do. And we're watching TNA. I hope Jay has TNA on. Ace Austin making.
I do. I don't know what the hell I'm watching.
Well, we're gonna open up. Listen, since this is a live TNA watch, we're gonna have to open up with the TNA slides. We're watching Impact, okay, and you can catch it on TNA Plus, $9.99 a month, or if you have Access TV, there's a lot of ways to watch it. They have plenty of stuff on YouTube, and I wanted to show and introduce the Savage Kingdom. DJ Storms, what do you call your peoples?
I call my people the DJ Storms Posse.
The Posse. All right, so the Kingdom and the Posse, okay? We want to inform you about the champions of TNA. And Jay and Storms, if you have any takes on right here, our first three champions we're looking at, I have fond memories of Jordan Grace, especially from, I don't know, what, Tuesday night on NXT, when she showed up. And Jay, by the way, Jordan Grace is going to beat the shit out of Roxanne Perez, but we'll get to that later. Go ahead, Jay, Storms, whoever, who wants to take this here?
I'll give it to Jay first, because
Jay, tell the people about the TNA champions on the screen right here.
Well, I have no complaints here, guys. Moose is a beast. He signed the longest TNA contract in history. He's the perfect champion, man. I wouldn't have it any other way. For Jordan Grace, right? She's a piece of trash. I don't give shit about her. Roxanne Perez is going to prove once again why she's the prodigy, not this person that wants to play dress up looking like a man. As for the X Division champion, I could give two shits about Mustafa Ali. You kind of lost me when you were the leader of Retribution, and I can't get over that. It was just haunting for my eyes for the last year. Poor Dijak had to go through that shit for the last 2 years in that group. Jesus. So I can't buy Ali as a champion just because of that.
All right.
God,
All right. All right. Well, yeah, listen, we got to have that like fan-like opinion, and that's definitely him right there. Loretto Kid, Brian Myers, Eddie Edwards, more champions here. Alicia Edwards, Masha Slamovich, and a quick look at the roster. They have a roster, guys. I mean, they have a stacked roster. They definitely
Campaign
do.
Singh? Who the hell is Campaign
Eric
Singh?
Young is awesome.
Listen, folks,
okay?
the roster is
Fandango,
Campaign Singh
Dirty
and First
Damage
Class.
is awesome. Eddie
These
Edwards is
are
pretty
your
good. Chris
TNA
Bay is very good. Okay,
Each and
Frankie
every day.
Kazarian's a fucking legend.
Jack
Hammerstone's
Price. Who's
awesome.
Jack Price?
What, are you crazy right now? Come on, man. Jack Price
What,
is
are
ready
you
to kick ass.
crazy? You
Gail
know?
Kim, another
You know?
mention. And you know what, Jay? I met Gia Miller. Okay, I met Gia Miller. I have videos with Gia Miller, and she is a very impressive talent. And listen, TNA's got prospects. I don't know what you're talking about.
No.
There's prospects outside.
TNA does have a lot of prospects, and I do believe that if they have the roster that they have, I do think that they should be getting some better structure and better production. And if they do, I think we could have a solid number 3 or number 4 promotion. I mean, it all depends on if New Japan gets their promotion and production down to a T as well, because they got the roster.
I mean, dude, Nick Nemeth, Mike Bailey, Santana's down there.
Be the one to beat Moose.
Probably, yeah, I could see that happening, man. I'm a big fan of Ryan Nemeth too.
Sammy Callahan gained too much weight, guys. I lost interest in him after a year.
Who gives a fuck about the weight? He's a great fucking wrestler. He's a beast.
Yeah. He was like
big shout out to Zaya Brookside, by the way. Zaya Brookside's also TNA. Maybe we're gonna see her tonight. My boy Casey Navarro also, and TNA. Maybe he's gonna show up in NXT.
Ugh. I want to see this slide. Next slide.
I can't. This is a big deal for TNA. They have a working relationship with Shawn Michaels and NXT. All right, and here's a good look at where you can watch TNA. Okay,
push Jordan Grace out of the slide.
They have 3 shows. They have.
I think here's what I will say. Jay's right. I think Jordan Grace is a piece of trash, but she is a great wrestler.
If she's a piece of trash, why does she have this awesome figure coming out that you probably didn't even know about? Look at that figure. You only have 2 days left to order. 2 days left to order. Get out there and order that shit, man. This shit's going to be limited edition. She's going to go down to beat the shit out of Roxanne Perez. And that's
man.
Roxanne will retain.
It's not going to happen.
It's happening on next Tuesday, though.
Stevie Turner is one of the greats.
All right, Storms, who do you got on this next week? Obviously, come on.
I mean, come on. It's Jordan Grace because she's not losing going into the big title match, but she will be losing to Roxanne.
Yes. But by the way, the reason I put that up is because TNA is all over NXT, man. The title was on there. By the way, Jordan Grace was on Busted Open earlier today. Let me know in the comments if you heard the interview, if it was good. Another figure coming out. Look, I'm just saying, TNA came a long way. These are nice figures, nicely boxed, nicely done. TNA's come a long way, and I think the WWE rub is going to really help them out. This is a look at what we're going to see later tonight. Joe Hendry takes on the System's Eddie Edwards. I've loved Joe Hendry highlights from what I've been seeing. Tonight is the first time in a long time that I'm watching a full episode
wrestle
of. No, I've seen matches, yes, but I don't watch it week to week. I just don't. You know that.
Neither do I. But I do believe in Joe Hendry.
There you go. I do believe in Joe Hendry, and I'm sure a lot of people do. He's taken over on highlight reels. I mean, this guy's popping up for a reason in the algorithm. At the end of the day, people can talk trash, but when I see your face on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok over and over and over again, you're obviously doing something right. He's trending up. And that's what you want to do in this business, whether you're a wrestler, a booker, a vendor, a promoter, a manager, a valet. You got to promote yourself. You got to promote your brand, just like we do here.
That's exactly what we need to do. Oh, and by the way, people, if you guys are watching, if you're watching on my channel, be sure to hit the super chats, the super stickers, and the super thanks. Show some support for episode 1 of the Savage Storm Wrestling Super Show with me, the Greek Savage, and Jay here in the great-looking Spider-Man / Venom shirt. And in addition to that, become a member of the channel. It will be the best channel membership that you will ever fucking buy. Because why? You're supporting DJ Shizzle Dizzle.
I'll endorse him, all right? Go give him some money. In about an hour or 2, I'll be asking you for my money. Right? You asking for the money in the first hour, and I'll ask him for the money in the second hour. And
sounds like a good deal. We'll sign off on a contract.
No, I don't do contracts. So ask Marty. He tried to. I thought
this is like. I'm just watching this match, and I love Ace Austin. I always did. I would just ask Savage, you're close friends with Alpha Jr. I would just want to say, how was it training this guy? Because this guy was trained by the Wild Samoans.
Well, I know they have a lot of faith in him because I've seen him wrestle a few times at Outlaw, and he was really good. When I saw him wrestle at Outlaw, he was really good, bro. He was really good. He had a clean match against, I believe it was either Mike. I think it was Speedball.
Speedball Mike Bailey.
Yeah.
Did you happen to see the match between Speedball and Crowbar back at Outlaw? I mean,
that was phenomenal. Phenomenal match. Yeah, Crowbar's killed it. I love this match, even at ISPW. I hate to put them over sometimes, but you know what? that match with Rick Recon and Crowbar, steel cage match, you know, that's worthy of being on Monday Night Raw or SmackDown.
Dude, that was worthy of being on a pay-per-view. That was probably one of the best independent wrestling matches I've ever seen live.
And the reason I don't always want to put over ISPW is because of that bum Toto Watam. You know, he's always running his damn mouth. He shows up to all my matches.
On GKM on my show.
He shows up to all my matches wearing that stupid hat, eating hot dogs, talking trash to Spencer Slade. And, you know, last time, I don't know if you know, we actually, Spencer Slade kind of shoved him maybe a little too hard.
Disrespectful, Savage. Disrespectful.
No, man. Toto Watam needs to learn. And a lot of people need to learn that.
He didn't deserve that.
Listen. We got a lot of shit to get into. Savage, take it away.
I am going to take it away. We are right now watching Ace Austin versus Chris Bay right here on the TNA Live Watch. But like Storm says, we do have a lot to talk about. And what should we start with first? I don't know. Maybe we'll take AEW breaking news on Storms. Storms, what do you think about all this breaking news here from AEW? And it's kind of AEW related, WWE related. It's a little mix. I always do breaking news on my other shows. Chelsea Green over here endorses Matt Cardona to make an NXT appearance. So basically, she wants him on NXT. Do you want Cardona on NXT?
I mean, Matt Cardona has been doing some phenomenal work. He's probably, matter of fact, not probably, he is absolutely the best pro wrestler in the industry right now to not have a signed contract to any major wrestling promotion. And the fact that he can compete legitimately anywhere, he's doing something right. He's doing something right. He's getting a lot of traction. He's gaining a lot, and I mean a lot of money from basically being a freelancer. So if he is to come on into NXT with this current gimmick that he's been portraying himself as, and the current body of work that he's been doing, that is absolutely going to be beneficial for him and the NXT brand, especially after God knows how many months. Matter of fact, it's been almost 3 years of NXT being absolute shit. So if we can get some good material with NXT, with Matt Cardona on there, potentially him going up against the likes of an Ethan Page or Trick Williams or anyone else that you want to put him in there with, that's definitely going to be beneficial for him and the brand overall. Okay.
Interesting. I know we heard what Jay had to say last night about Matt Cardona. I don't think he wants Matt Cardona in NXT at all, but that's probably because he's going to just block somebody else's rise. But like I said, we are watching TNA Live Watch. Here's a look at all the different matches that TNA is going to have over the night. I'm looking forward to seeing Zaya Brookside versus Steph DeLander. That sounds like a fantastic match. Might even be match of the night. Mustafa Ali versus Leon Slater. Mike Santana in action against Steve Macklin. Sammy Callahan versus Jonathan Gresham. You may know him from AEW. He was doing his thing there. I kind of liked him. He had a good look, had a good vibe. Reminded me of a stronger Dean Malenko almost. You know, really good ground and pound wrestling. Oh, yeah, you hate
I wouldn't really compare him to those of the past. You see, that's probably one of the things that, you know, everyone should stop doing in pro wrestling nowadays.
No, why not? And that's why you love it. That's why you love it.
Just
That's
listen.
why you love it, man.
I don't love it. I hate it. I just got to listen to this shit.
The reason why you don't compare is because you're going to be putting a ceiling on certain wrestlers that they're not going to break.
No. Because like I tell certain people, what do you mean? Like somebody like Spencer Slade doesn't remind me of one wrestler. He's like five. He's like Chris Benoit, Chris Jericho.
I can't believe you said a murderer's name.
Because what do you mean? He's a killer. He's a killer.
I mean, listen. I can't deny that he's a killer. I've seen some clips of him.
You know Spencer Slade is a killer, baby. All right?
He's got a lot of intensity.
All right? Speaking of NWA, yeah, why not? I'll give you a quick rundown on NWA. I'm going to start watching it. I watched Power for the first time, the full two. I watched 2 episodes back-to-back, 1 hour each. Great production value. Absolutely good matches and actually good commentary. It's entertaining. I enjoyed it, and I got to see Spencer Slade kick a lot of ass. They have a lot going on. If you go to their website, just go to Google, type in NWA, it'll pop up immediately. By the way, Google can save your life. If you are that dumb and you don't understand what to do in this life, just go to Google. It will tell you what to do. I just saved your life, maybe.
No. You see, I'm the guy that saves people's lives because I make people's lives better. Just letting you know that.
All right, man. But, you know, why can't I make people's lives? Why can't we make? Stop being so goddamn selfish, Storms.
Oh, come on. You know
Jesus
me, Cri
Christ.
Text. You know me.
You fucking narcissist. NWA is going to be at the 2300 Arena. That's a pretty big deal. That's near you, too. You can go there, I'm sure. Would you be interested in checking out NWA on August 31st in Philadelphia? Should we hit this show?
I don't know. I'll have to think about it.
Maybe
Say no.
we got to get content for the show. Let's go get EC3. We need to speak to the champion of NWA. I want EC3 on this show.
It can happen. It can happen.
Oh, it's not.
We will be getting EC3 on this show sooner.
It's going to happen. We're going to get EC3 because I have questions and I wonder if he has the answers. We're going to find out. You might want to check out Adventures in Carneyland. I don't know if you guys watched it.
Blue hell.
Listen, Billy Corgan's famous
Carneyland, man.
Smashing Pumpkins,
How do these people
superstar.
get deals and we don't? It's just
Listen, because he runs National Wrestling Alliance, which is one of the most prestigious wrestling companies of all time.
Money just buys you anything, man. Jeez.
I'm telling. I think I'm gonna love the show just based on Jay's reactions to everything.
Jay's going to be the reason why we never get hired anywhere.
What the hell is
I'm not trying to get hired anywhere. I don't want to get owned.
So great, you two guys. First of all, no, I wouldn't get hired under the assumption of getting owned. I'd get hired under the gumption that I'm going to own them.
No.
Yeah,
I will not be signing a contract to anywhere.
Oh well, it's a good thing I'm an independent contractor. I don't do contracts. I'm an independent contractor for life.
Savage
This
makes
way, you can go and move and be free like a fucking bird. Nobody's holding me down, Storms. I don't sign dotted lines. I sign fucking cash checks.
Now, I'm a DJ Storms contractor. That's who I am.
Sean will go with me in a little bit. We're gonna do a small segment. All right, I'm gonna send a link out. We've never done this before, but only one of you is making it. The first person that gets in the studio is going to get to be on the show and have a take on whatever they want. 1 minute to talk about professional wrestling for the week. All right. Now I'll say this: if you come in and you shit the bed or start going crazy or nuts, you're getting removed. The next person's coming in.
We hit the button.
We hit the button in your gut. I don't play that shit.
We gotta make a T-shirt that says the button.
You can curse a little bit, but be nice. Nothing stupid. All right. No politics. I don't want to hear about Trump and the trial or Sleepy Joe. I don't care about any of that shit. Don't come in here with that nonsense either. I'll say that right now. All right. Fuck politics. Fuck you if you want to talk about politics right now. And what is this? NWA? Yeah, good shit. They have a lot of content. I checked it out. Like I said, the CW app is easy to download. They have a lot of content. Another show right there. Looks that kill. Adventures in Carneyland. Look at this. EC3 successfully defended the title in Japan, and now he's going to be defending it in France. Kind of funny that WWE started that trend in France, and now NWA is going to France.
I really want to say this. The way that EC3 has been booked the last 2 years, I truly think that Billy Corgan wanted to beat Nick Aldis' record of holding the NWA title. I think he wants to get rid of his name and have a new person take over, and that's EC3.
That could 100% be true.
I can't disagree with that.
Spiteful, though.
No, that might be true. Well, yeah, but he's your new champion. You're trying to push him. What are you going to do? Of course, you're going to let him break records.
He's been fighting everyone.
EC3 is great at what he does, so I can't really shit on EC3 being the guy to do it. But on Billy Corgan's part, it is kind of
but Corgan's part is like real crooked. It's like,
but it's easy to look at it like that when you're not there right now, and he might just be in love with EC3 and love with what he's doing. Maybe
he's in love with everybody, man.
Well, I bet you didn't know that they have a free magazine that you can download. Who is bothering me, man? Somebody is blowing me up, and I bet you it's Mick Thomason. But shout out to you, Mick Thomason, okay? We know you're watching. We love you.
Seth Delander. I haven't seen her since NXT. I'm kind of excited to see what she can do.
Dude, I'm really hyped for this match right now. We're going to actually probably do a little play-by-play on this one. But you can download a free magazine that NWA does on their website, all right? NationalWrestlingAlliance.com. Free. It's pretty cool. Free magazine every week. There's a little look at what the inside looks like right there. If you've never checked it out, gives you a good way to actually learn about the superstars of NWA. Because, when you first watch a product, you want to maybe know a little bit about it. And this is a good way to do that. I know Storms would agree. You can stream, you can watch it, you can binge it. Like I said, the CW app is fucking great. Here's a look at your talent. EC3 globally recognized superstar. The Overman EC3 is the reigning National Wrestling Alliance World Heavyweight Champion. All right. I'm not going to get into everybody's specific stories here, but they have a great cast. It's a really good cast, a really good lineup of champions that are going at it right now. The Killing Bees. The U.S. tag titles are vacant, by the way. And here's a look at the roster. If anybody sticks out to you, you probably see some legends on there, like Homicide's on there. I mean, they definitely have a deep, deep roster with a lot of talent. And most importantly, above all of that, okay, a really deep roster. I mean, I can keep going here. As you see Slade
slime balls, baby. Gotta love the slime balls.
Slime balls made it. They're up there. Yeah. Taylor Rising's really good. Talos is good. All these guys are like legit. My boy Wrecking Ball Ligursky's in there. He's awesome. He's in there. Okay. They're killing it. They have great managers. They have great managers. They have great officials. Okay. They have a great broadcast team. It's actually a fun product, and they have a fun president who really loves pro wrestling. This is somebody that was already famous, already a millionaire, already hit their apex and prime in life. Yet here he is devoting all his time, effort, and energy into professional wrestling. You have to respect it.
I'm not getting behind him.
Well, you should get behind it because of this. They have Spencer slated soon. It's happening. I'm telling you. I feel it. Just don't. I can't. Listen. Just stay.
Come on, tell us something.
Stay.
It's the first episode.
Stay tuned.
Tell us some breaking news.
Shut your ass up. That's the breaking.
Hit the breaking news. Hit the breaking news button.
All right, and every week you can see guys like this in action. All right, Crockett Cup qualification match is happening. Make sure you check them out on the CW. Go check out their website. NWA exists. They're out there. They're doing their thing. And at the end of the day, it's good content. I've watched it. I'm not lying. The production value is actually good. It's better than almost anything you're going to see off a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday type of night. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's not the big boys, their production value is right there. And some of these guys you're going to see in WWE. You're going to see them in AEW. See them before.
I'm not liking Steph's footwork here in this match.
Well, Steph DeLander to me is a little overrated sometimes. I think Cardona
moves a little too slow.
She thinks she's learned everything from Matt Cardona, who's been doing it forever.
Well, she got let go while she was training in NXT.
Listen, I'll say this right now. It's clear to me you could see the size advantage here. Steph DeLander is obviously much bigger than Zaya Brooks.
Look, it's just like the footwork is a little off in some sequences.
Well, she has the look. She has the power.
Would it be her footwork, or would it actually be her timing? Because, like, here's the thing: some wrestlers,
I think it's both. Storms. I think you hit the second one on the nail, but I think it's a combination of both.
A lot of matches coming up.
I do not watch things in depth like that, but I'll definitely take a look at it.
I watch her because I remember her from NXT, and I remember when she got let go, I was like, damn, she was in a storyline. They just fired her like that. So when she was with Matt Cardona, I had high hopes.
She really wasn't doing anything, but I think that her being paired with Matt Cardona was probably the best thing for her. But as far as TNA goes, yeah, I never watched TNA with the eyes that I watch WWE and AEW with. But you know, maybe I might go out of my way to watch Slammiversary just because of the fact that I do want to see what they do cook up, and I do hope that they do give the title to Nick Nemeth. I understand why they kind of passed on him at Rebellion because, again, Moose just won the title. You don't want to treat him as if he's just a transitional champion. However, I do believe that it was kind of stupid to put Nick Nemeth in a world title match that soon.
Yeah. You really want to take it off Moose? I mean, I think Moose is probably one of the most underrated TNA wrestlers that can actually sell great. When he wants,
I don't think he's underrated, bro. He's the man. He's the man.
No, I'm just saying when he has a match, he could sell for someone. He could actually elevate someone, which I think we're lacking in a few promotions. But this guy could do it. I wouldn't necessarily want.
Hold on, guys. Steph DeLander is grabbing the chair, and PCO is under the ring. He's holding onto the chair. No wonder it was so hard for her to take out. What's going on right now? PCO is out here. Steph DeLander looks shocked.
Freaking PCO, man.
Another legend. He's like He is a legend, bro. WWE. He's got a lot of stories with Marty, bro. Him and Marty have a
I'm looking at this
lot
whole
of road trip
segment here,
stories.
like in a complete.
You know,
We got a lot of
people
stories as well.
absolutely no, but a lot of people they think about these wrestlers as like, oh, he wasn't good, this wasn't good. Yo, dude, you have to sit back and really think about like what their career was like on the road. These people were like, imagine like anybody from the '90s. You know, oh, this guy was on the road with Undertaker. This guy was on the road with Yokozuna. This guy, you know what I mean? Like these guys have stories, bro, and people need to respect that and appreciate the history.
What else we got going on tonight? I know we got a lot of big-time breaking news coming out of the world.
Well, I was just trying to pay attention because Xia Brookside just picked up the big win over Steph DeLander here on TNA tonight. So we got our results for that match. But I'll go to Storms right now because I need to know what you thought about the King and Queen of the Ring. We have a new champion. Honestly, we're not going to talk about it individually. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show the slides, talk a little bit, and then you just tell me what you thought about King and Queen of the Ring in total. You have Liv Morgan here, your new champion, right? Fucking crazy. Fun match. I wasn't expecting it, but, fuck it. Why not? Liv Morgan Revenge Tour is complete, etc. We keep moving on over here, and you have the tag team titles on the line. All right, Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, still your champions, obviously, holding the titles. We knew Sami Zayn was going to win. He's from there, bottom line. I knew Nia Jax was going to kill Lyra Valkyria. It happened. It was real. She sat on her ass. Looked like she killed her. Holy shit. I am scared of Nia Jax, and you should be too. We'll keep it moving, though. She is your new Queen of the Ring. Gunther barely beat Randy Orton. Randy's shoulders weren't down, but of course they have to, referee's decision's final, right? Can't bend the rules for anybody. So Gunther, you're King of the Ring. And then of course we have this, where I'll just say this. Logan Paul is fucking spectacular. Go ahead, DJ Storms.
The overall King and Queen of the Ring event, very good show. Very good show. WWE's weekly TV has actually been very solid in the month of May, with the exception of this past Monday on Raw. That was an utter fucking snooze fest. However, when it comes down to it all, Triple H has definitely rectified their pay-per-view problems, their premium live event problems. No one gives a shit about the women's tag team titles. I'm just going to throw that out there. Liv Morgan. I said that Liv Morgan, she was not believable or credible standing next to Becky Lynch, but the ending of that match made that match a hell of a lot better, and it was probably the only way that they could have made Liv Morgan beating Becky Lynch seem believable. The Intercontinental Championship triple threat match, great fucking match, could easily be considered the best match on the show. All three men fucking killed it. Great ending as well. The babyface turn of Otis and the heel work of Chad Gable is absolutely fantastic. Sami Zayn retains. He's doing great work with that title. Lyra should have won Queen of the Ring, although I will give Nia Jax credit. She's gotten a lot better. She's selling a lot better. She is working a lot better with everyone that she gets put in the ring with. She's a lot more versatile now than she was then, but they passed up a chance at making a new star with Lyra, and that is one thing that I cannot stand when it comes to WWE. They are afraid of creating new stars. King of the Ring with Gunther and Randy Orton. First 10 minutes were boring as fuck, but it ended up getting better. Now, I don't know why they went with the ending that they did, because it resulted in a botch. Should have just had Gunther win it with a powerbomb, but now that they have one match underneath their belt, I do think the second match that they inevitably have, probably at Clash at the Castle, is going to be a lot better. Cody Rhodes, I said this on the rewind for King and Queen of the Ring. WWE is very lucky to have someone like Cody Rhodes. For 2 straight pay-per-views, 2 straight premium live events, he was given little to nothing to work with, but yet he turned it into one of, if not the best thing on the show. Great match with Logan Paul. I really do hope that Cody Rhodes gets better treatment going forward, because he is way too good just to be given nothing feuds and them give you the bare minimum on weekly TV, not having any momentum going into the show, and then having to rely on Cody to put on a banger rather than giving us more of a reason to care about the match. Nevertheless, great match and an overall very, very good show. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with Clash at the Castle, and I will be doing another watch-along for Clash at the Castle. So if either of you want to pop in, just hit me up, let me know.
Copy that. Jay, you got anything to say to that for him?
I got something to say. For the people that are doing my empanadas, you are taking over 2 hours to make empanadas, and I have not heard my bell. So I apologize to everybody before I give my take because my bell is about to ring. So if I leave,
Slam pigs.
you know why, okay? I'm going to say this. I thought it was okay. I can't say it was a good or a great pay-per-view. It wasn't for me because I was very disappointed in Lara Valkyria. Me and DJ Storms got something in common. We like her. We think she's doing great work, especially on her main roster debut to the run that she's having now. But there were a few hiccups in the ring. She did miss some missile drop kicks on the top that didn't hit Nia. And some sequences and spots didn't look that great. I would say what DJ Storms says. Timing. It just wasn't there. So I was a little disappointed in that match. I was disappointed at the finish with Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes. Gunther. I didn't want it to finish like that. I don't see a purpose of having another match between these two. I get it. You want to protect one of your oldest, one of your future Hall of Famer stars, but I don't think it should have been done like this. So, because listen, and another thing is, Gunther doesn't need controversy to hold over his head. It's not a cloud, okay? Mm-hmm. We know he's a badass, and we know what he could do. He could have a match with a broomstick. It's freaking 5-star. So I don't like that they did that just for the fact, like, oh, you won it. But Michael Cole is saying in a controversial way, let's take a look at this pack.
Well, yeah, but they have to say that because he's a bad guy. He's a heel. But to respond to Storms, listen, they did Cody Rhodes a favor, man. Logan Paul is someone who in 5-6 matches that they saw has done nothing but perform at big moments in big spots. And he happens to have more followers on YouTube than your average bear. What they just did for hold on, no, listen, I know you think it's irrelevant, but business is not irrelevant. Let me talk if you can. Business is not irrelevant, and that's what professional wrestling at the end of the day is about. Triple H and all these guys, they don't want to talk to you about anything unless it's about making money. And if you don't know that, then I'm sorry to burst your fucking little unicorn bubble over there.
Like
but that's the way it is. It's about fucking money. Now, putting Cody Rhodes with Logan Paul, who potentially has more new fans than any other fucking wrestler in the fucking world. There's no one in the world right now wrestling that potentially has more new. No, shut your stupid. No. Because The Rock's not doing it the way Logan is, where he's actually competing multiple times a year. The Rock's WrestleMania and done. Maybe a Monday Night Raw and done. Logan's out here winning titles now, defending titles, winning titles. Logan looks good in every title defense so far. He's looked good in every match he's been in so far. I'll go as far to say that you won't find anyone in the history of wrestling that's looked this good 6 matches in. Ain't going to happen. It's not even remotely possible. No one's even been given that kind of opportunity before. And that should show you the kind of pull and power he has because of his social media following. Because of his social media following, Storms, it can generate a massive amount of new revenue. People now are like, damn, look what Cody did to Logan Paul. I love Logan Paul, but Cody just killed him. I'm a Cody fan now. Cody might have just got easy 100,000, 500,000 potential new fans that are now walking around with a Cody Rhodes shirt. So if you want, I'll pull up my calculator and we can do the math about what 500,000 times $24.99. It's a lot of fucking reasons why that match happened and why it was put together. It wasn't bad booking. It was a favor to Cody Rhodes to get him even more traction, more social media buzz, and generate revenue. Go for it.
No. You see, it was a bad booking decision, and I'll tell you why. Here's something that a lot of people need to understand, and whether you want to admit it or not, this is a fact right here. When it comes to WWE, the money is always going to be there. WWE is making more money than they need. They're making more money than they know what to fucking do with right now. At the end of the day, you know what I'm here to discuss? I am here to discuss objective quality. I've always been here to discuss objective quality. I live by the motto, fuck business. If you're good at what you do, the money will always be in your pockets. I'm here to talk about quality.
You're not wrong about that, but that doesn't change the fact that their priority is always going to be money.
Exactly, and that is the problem with WWE. The problem is that they don't look to put on a good show and they don't look to give you shit that makes sense. Logan Paul versus Cody Rhodes didn't make sense. You know why? Cody Rhodes just ended the 1,300 plus day reign.
Hold on. If you're going,
listen, he doesn't need Logan Paul to get over, number one. And number two, you know why this also didn't make sense? Because Logan Paul already has a priority, and it's the United States Championship. Now, if Logan Paul had already lost the title, and then they wanted to give us Logan Paul versus Cody, I wouldn't have minded that. But it didn't make sense because as of right now, you're making the U.S. Championship look weak, and you didn't give anyone a reason to actually be invested other than the fact that, oh, hey, it's going to be a banger, and it's Cody Rhodes. Okay. That is the problem.
You definitely don't make the United States Championship look weaker because he lost to the world. Hold on. You let him, dude, he lost to the world champion. Cody's looked at on a different echelon. He's on a different tier. He's higher than Logan Paul. Logan Paul's not ready yet for a Cody Rhodes. He made it clear with this match. Cody beat him fair and square, clean. Whooped his ass.
You proved my point right, though.
But you also said earlier that your thing is to just get great analysis and great this and that. Now, even though this match was just put together at the end of the day, hell, it was a great fucking match.
Yes, I'm just saying that we need better content on the weekly shows because when it comes down to it all, WWE gives you the bare minimum on the weekly shows. The promos leading up to this match were as generic as you can get. It was like eating unseasoned fucking chicken.
I thought there was only one good promo they did, and that was the time where he had his lawyer with him, his uncle with him, where he got out of putting up the title up.
It was solid for what it was. But I mean,
mediocre. Yeah. No, not at all. I never said that. It was mediocre at best. You're not wrong about that. But listen. Week build up, but to have a delivery like that, because sometimes we get these build ups that are epic. You know what I mean? Epic build up for 2 months, great storytelling. We're like so hyped for the match. Match happens and they shit the bed. I'll take a week build up and a spectacular match because we got some spectacular moments. You can't deny that this wasn't a spectacular moment. You enjoyed it. I know you did. Everybody did, bro.
I did. Trust me, I did. I'm just saying. Even though we did get a great match, I know that WWE can give us better content than what they're giving us.
Of course everybody can give you better content.
4 months of 2024 were dog shit minus the PLEs.
Listen, I think
give us something to say.
When you're Triple H, right, and you're dealing with a company of this size and scope and the number of rosters they have and shows and production, it's the transition of his full complete idea of what his company wants to look like now. It's not going to happen overnight, because we have contracts, we have people we want to pull in, pull out, change spots, change things, timing of, certain guys maybe being injured, stories he has in his head that he wants to do with Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes. Everything is about precision timing. And of course, God, because you have to pray that the wrestlers that you want these stories with, they're healthy at the time. When it's time to go, if your guy gets hurt, there goes a whole 6-month angle. Now we got to rinse and repeat and write a whole new show and a whole new script because on the day we were ready to go live, we've been writing this shit for a year, but the day we're ready to go live, this fucking guy got fucking hurt. You know how many times that's happened?
There's a lot of Vince McMahonisms in WWE that need to be eradicated because here's the thing.
Like what?
There's a lot of shit because WWE, they still give people championship matches out of fucking thin air. That's why I always say that they should get a ranking system and they should push forth that ranking system, make wins and losses matter. They need to stop. They need to stop writing such generic promos. They need to put more effort other than just the top guys. You can't just put effort into a guy like Cody or Randy or Gunther or Rhea or Becky. You need to put effort into everyone.
Yeah, we're watching TNA live right now. I appreciate all of you in the comments. I will try to get to the comments when Storms and Jay are having their say here. I will get to all your comments throughout the night. But like Storms keeps saying, we have a lot to talk about. We're watching TNA live. Jay's here's watching it. Jay's going to eventually come in once in a while and
watching
update
the Dallas
us.
Team. I'm watching.
You got a lot. By the way, yes, we're going to update you on that NBA game, and we might even stick around for that. But right now, Sami Callihan about to lock up with Jonathan Gresham, who's got the mask on. I guess this character is full. He's full mask now in TNA. Well, in AEW, he wasn't wearing the mask. He'd come out with the mask and then take it off. Now he's wearing the mask the whole time. Good matchup. We'll keep you posted on the results as we're going. Right. But a lot to talk about. A big weekend, man, right? AEW. I guess we could quickly talk about Dynamite before we get into Double or Nothing. So we got a crazy match yesterday. Swerve Strickland versus Kill Switch is a crazy match. As far as on paper, you're like, damn, I want to see that. I'm interested because, like I've said before, I'll say it again. Originally, Luchasaurus came into AEW. I saw this guy. I said, that's Undertaker in a dinosaur mask. That shit is fucking crazy. He's great. I fucking love it. By the way, happy birthday to Takeshita. Shout out to the CEO, your new TBS champion. And Storms, I got to go to you first real quick. What did you think about Mercedes Moné becoming the new TBS champion?
I mean, it was an inevitability. I knew that was going to happen. The main issue regarding Mercedes Moné and her becoming TBS champion is the fact that was her first match in AEW, and you just give her the championship. Now, if they brought her in and they were having her win matches on TV heading into that match with Willow Nightingale, which, by the way, great match, easily one of the best women's matches of the year, and if they gave her the wins en route to winning the TBS championship, that would have been a lot better overall. But she put on a great match with Willow. She was the right woman to win. And she's already doing very good work, very solid work with the TBS championship. We got her and Stephanie Vacour coming up at Forbidden Door. And I am still holding out for a big-time money match at All In between Mercedes Moné and Britt Baker. Mercedes is going to do the TBS championship very, very good. I'm very much looking forward to seeing what she does going forward. And shout out to Willow as well. She was elevated in that match, and I cannot wait to see what her and Chris Statlander do. I do believe that is going to be a first-round matchup in the Women's Owen Hart Cup tournament.
All right. Jay, I'm going to go to you for this one. Happy birthday to Jake the Snake Roberts.
Yay.
After watching Dynamite last night, to me, Dynamite was a mediocre episode with a fantastic ending that I didn't see coming. At the end, I said, holy shit, it's going to be, they're doing it. It's Will Ospreay versus Swerve Strickland. We have to wonder, so Jay, my question to you is, after 24 hours, what, well, because it's Tony Khan. That's the guy that runs AEW. After 24 hours, what do you think about Tony Khan's decision to make this match and kick it off now? Is it going to happen? And is it going to happen? Is Ospreay or Ostrich, as you call him, is he going to win at Forbidden Door?
I think a lot of things. I think that I've been saying all along that everybody thinks I'm crazy or fucking nuts. Basically, I said that Swerve Strickland can't elevate the title. He's not that type of guy that can elevate another star that's coming up, which is why he was working with a veteran as Christian Cage and was why they put Will Ostrich. Now, I will say this. To me, booking-wise, if it doesn't make sense to me, why would I just put my new AEW International Champion fighting the AEW World Champion so fast? It tells me a lot of things. It tells me Swerve needs veterans. He needs to work with people that can make him look good. We've seen it with the Christian Cage match. I'm pretty sure you guys are going to say that was a good match, and we know why. But it makes no sense to me because, face it, how are we going to get Ostrich the AEW International? But how are we going to book him to lose when he shouldn't be losing? He's your new international champion, and you're going to book him in a way to lose? You can't. So he has to win. But then what does that say to Swerve? Oh, shit, I just gave you the shortest title runs in AEW history. So it's a lot of issues that come about for me, and I personally don't think it was the right call. And I'm going to say this, by the way, because not a lot of people say, I said it last night, CMLL, New Japan, Dog Shit League, wherever the hell you coming from, they shouldn't even be in a gauntlet match for the AEW World Champion. Are you kidding me? Mystico, or whatever the hell it is? You're telling me Mystico might have a chance to face Swerve for the belt, and I'm supposed to believe that, but there's not other AEW roster people you have there waiting that you're not doing absolutely shit with? Makes no sense to me. I just don't see it. And listen, I'm not an Ostrich fan. I don't care about the high-flying shit, but I will say this. I wouldn't want him to take a loss if that's how they're going to book it. And I wouldn't want him to win because it fucks up Swerve. So
we're gonna have to wait and see what happens with that. But I want to know, we got to keep it moving because we have a lot to cover, a lot to talk about, unfortunately. And we're going to get back to Will Ospreay, obviously, because he's been very busy this week, hasn't he? Mercedes Moné, though, she had a match defending her title. Storms, her first defense What did you think? And let's try to keep it under 60 seconds because we got a lot to talk about.
It was very, very solid for what it was. I actually wish that they would have done someone else besides Sky Blue. It just seemed very, very predictable. But regardless, it was a solid performance. Sky Blue looked good for the 8 or 9 minutes that it went. And Mercedes Moné, like I said, she's doing very good work with the TBS Championship. And I'm looking forward to that match at Forbidden Door with Stephanie Vicor.
All right, Stephen Chambers, that's a great question, and we'll get back to that a little later tonight. I definitely want to know what you guys think, and you should think about it. We'll get back to that maybe at the end of the night. Who's going to be Cody Rhodes' next opponent? Stephen Chambers is picking Nakamura. Right now, we're watching Impact on TNA, Access TV. Callahan losing control in this matchup. I think Gresham's actually going to have him here. He has a really good look. His body's phenomenal. His ring work is great. I'm watching his movement. That elbow shot, everything's connecting. This guy is money. I don't know why it didn't work out in AEW, but I wish him nothing but success on TNA, which, by the way, we're watching live. AEW, though, we had Swerve Strickland, Kill Switch. Me and Jay were covering this last night. Jay didn't like this shit at all. Storms, we knew Swerve was going to win this match.
They're promoting dragons, so let's have Kill Switch.
Jay did make a good point. He said it's probably because he has a dragon mask and House of Dragons. And
House of Dragon.
Regardless of that, listen, if you're going to tell me that this wasn't a very good match, and if you're going to tell me that Swerve is not elevating others, that he's not doing good work, I mean, like, I don't know.
I didn't like this match. You know why? I will never like a Swerve match, and this is why. Because the way he's being booked. I have never seen an AEW champion always fighting. And that Savage gave me a lot of crap. He's like, whoa, he's a workhorse champion. He does this, he does that. He's not. He's not booked like that.
You're winning matches. That means you're being strong.
I wouldn't want to have Swerve fight Kill Switch, a Kyle Fletcher. It's unnecessary fights. I just rather have you cut a promo, cut a segment, or do a Christian Cage segment, what he did before. I'd rather just have that. You don't need to
like every other champion.
Every other champion never fought like that. Tell me. MGF never fought like that. Chris Jericho, when he won for the first time, never fought like that. Kenny Omega never fought like that. He was
but that's why
Kenny Omega
all over.
In non-title matches.
The way they were doing, even Hangnail Page, the one I despise the most, he didn't even fight the title like that all the time. So I'm just trying to make a point that the booking that they have Swerve is unnecessary. It's like, you don't need to do all this. You don't.
All right. Enough of the Swerve bashing, Jace. Go ahead, Storms. I'm sorry.
You're winning matches. Listen, if you're on TV winning matches, you're putting on great matches like that, Swerve is absolutely elevating the championship. Swerve, every single week, he's going out there. He is putting on excellent matches with whoever they put him in the ring with. And in addition to that, they're giving showcases to other individuals who they have investment in. Now, the main problem with AEW, like I always say, is the fact that they have a structuring issue and they need to figure out where they want certain people to be. Now, in regards to Ospreay, I will give Jay this. Jay was right in the fact that it's too soon. However, I do believe that Swerve winning and beating Ospreay would probably be the best route to go because of the fact that Will Ospreay, he is one of the most over guys in the industry right now. He could take a loss. He'll be fine. Swerve Strickland, he is the guy right now that they should be focusing on with the World Championship. And I really hope that this is not just a desperate attempt by Tony Khan to generate some interest because he's getting worried that people are losing interest in the show. If anything, this is a hot shot booking decision. Match should be good, but it doesn't make any sense. I would have gone with Shota Umino because it's Forbidden Door. And if you want to play up to the Forbidden Door stipulation, Shota Umino, who is fantastic at what he does, Shota Umino taking the win and challenging Swerve would have been a much better match, similar to what they did in the previous years with Tanahashi challenging for the world title.
Not a bad take. I love this match.
Listen,
hey, you had your take, goddammit.
Hold on.
We can't talk about fucking for 86 fucking minutes.
Storm said that with the Swerve thing that they're investing in someone. How can you be invested in Kyle Fletcher versus Swerve Strickland?
No, I'm telling you,
even Savage in the young talent, that booking is bad. It makes no sense. It makes no sense because you're not doing nothing with Kyle Fletcher.
I would not have made it an eliminator match. That's one thing that they need to scale back on.
It's a regular match after he won.
Well, the eliminator
This
match
was
is
a regular
stupid. They
match
need to stop
after he
that
won
shit.
the title. They booked him right away to Kyle Fletcher. Why would I book that? I said it. When he won the title, he should have been booked, had his own segment, 15, 20 minutes. I'm the champ. Let's celebrate.
He got
Balloons,
it on Collision.
champagne. And instead, he fights Kyle Fletcher.
And he got it on Collision. And then he defends the championship.
Collision. Look at that.
Main event on Collision against Claudio.
Yeah. It was a collision. It was
Stephen
on
Chambers,
cares?
another great question.
It should have been on Wednesday. That's when we generate the ratings. We're below 700,000. We're not even getting people to watch our
The
product.
ratings don't matter, dude.
WWE's making fun of us. They're saying 600 people.
Dying, the ratings don't matter.
We're
You're
losing.
focusing on things that don't matter.
We're losing.
You're
We
focusing on
want to care for the company.
Monday Night Raw will be on Netflix.
Can you
This
guys
is the longest running weekly episodic TV show in history. It's not going to be on TV anymore.
Can you guys agree to disagree for now so we can keep it moving? Because in the meantime, while all that arguing was going on, this guy, Sammy Callahan, literally just hit a pile driver on the apron and then hits a Death Valley
I
Death.
see one more package of
DVD
Jordan
over
Grace.
here.
I'm gonna shut
He-
this
he-
TV off,
He's
all right?
killing him over here. You shut your ass to respect Jordan Grace.
I don't
man.
want to see her. No,
Shut
thank
your ass to
you,
respect
sir.
Jordan Grace. All right.
No,
More
thank
on AEW. Dynamite last night. John Moxley picking up the big win on Rocky Romero. But wasn't a big win. The guy's doing it with one hand. I don't really have anything to say on it. And honestly, I think we should just talk about Jericho instead. Because Moxley's Moxley.
right.
Moxley's beating people up. This is the learning tree. This is the Ocho. I like that he is taking Big Bill under his wing. Big Bill is someone that I
Doesn't
want to
need
see
it, by the way.
succeed. Oh, why wouldn't you want to learn from a guy who's been in the business for 30 years and beat Stone Cold and The Rock in the same night? This is good for Big Bill. Maybe it's not good for Jericho. Maybe it's not good for entertainment. Maybe it's not good for a lot of reasons. But if it's good for one reason, Big Bill can definitely learn a lot from Chris Jericho and hopefully come out of this what he should be. He should be a top guy. He has the build. He looks like a giant. Let's see what happens. I don't know. A lot of other guys work with Jericho, and they didn't get too far. I mean, half of them ain't even working for the company anymore. So I don't know. I don't know what to think.
I mean, listen, when it comes down to Jericho, I'll always respect Jericho. I'll always appreciate everything that Jericho has done. And it's not that Jericho's not great. I've said it time and time and again. It's not that he's not great. It's just that he feels like he's just done everything. So it's just not resonating. If anything, the best thing regarding Chris Jericho is the little voiceover at the beginning of his theme song when he goes, "I am the learning tree." Outside of that, I mean, it's just not working. It's just not working.
I get it. I see it. Listen, at the end of the day, I think he's embracing a lot of the hate that he's been getting lately. People want him to retire. So I think he's just doing what Jericho does and adapting as quickly as he can to just try to remain relevant, have stories, make money, and hopefully put over some talent, which is why he was brought there in the first place, which was to put over talent. So hopefully he's going to put over Big Bill, and maybe, we'll see if he gets anybody else to the other side to make it. We haven't seen anybody from his stable besides him become AEW World Champion. So it would be crazy to me to see Jericho transform into a Don Callis role in front of our eyes, where he takes a Big Bill, starts rocking the suits, and he's like, "This is my guy. I'm going to take that Bobby the Brain Heenan role. My wrestling days are done. This is my guy. Let's go make some money." Jericho can be a great manager. Also on Dynamite, we got the Forbidden Door Casino Gauntlet with shocking results. We have now Swerve versus Ospreay at Forbidden Door. Let me know in the chat. I'll try to get to all of you. Let me know in the chat what's going on. Let me know who you think is going to win this match. I think Swerve Strickland, in my opinion, all right, real simple prediction. Swerve is going to retain the title because Callis is going to do something to screw up Ospreay. Ospreay's not going to lose clean.
Look at that. And you're going to give Ostrich, your top baby face, a loss.
He'll be fine.
I don't care if it's a DQ match. I don't think you should take a loss.
Listen, the match shouldn't have been made. But if you're going to have this match, you may as well make the most out of it. Will Ospreay will be fine. Have him go into All In to defend the international title against a guy like Pac. I'm still holding out to end the storyline with Hangman and Swerve. That is your main event at All In. Swerve retains. We'll see what happens. But again, I really do hope that this is not a desperation tactic by Tony Khan, and he should be focusing on shit that makes sense.
Gianna over here with the fire comments as always. But listen, I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked if Will Ospreay wins this match clean. It would not shock me because Tony Khan might just love him that much. And it will, if he wins clean, it shows you that who his top guy is. I mean, shit.
They're playing a dangerous game right there. You don't want to over push them. They're playing a dangerous game.
I mean, we could have a situation of what I mentioned to you earlier, back during the Attitude Era, guys like The Rock, Undertaker, Kane, Kurt Angle, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Mick Foley. These guys were trading titles a few times a year. So I'll say this. And the reason I'll say this is because it might be true. Maybe Will Ospreay is going to beat Swerve Strickland so that MJF can beat Will Ospreay in his own fucking backyard and piss off 70,000 people in the United Kingdom at Wembley and become two-time AEW World Heavyweight Champion. And you can't tell me it's far out of the reach of possibility. That could be exactly what happens. And if it does, I'm fucking with it, baby.
I'm not going to say that you're wrong. It is a possibility, but that wouldn't be the right way to go.
I'll say this: if Will Ospreay wins, if he beats Swerve, I guarantee you MJF is taking that title at Wembley, man, 100% because they're saving. I think they're saving Swerve and MJF. They're going to eventually fight again. I think it's too soon to have MJF bury Swerve.
I would have had him win in Full Gear, MJF.
We'll see. I don't know. He's got to deal with Adam Cole, right? A lot of bullshit. We didn't
got to get over that one.
We didn't see MJF on Dynamite, but we sure as shit saw him. And it's curious. It's curious. I want to know what's going to happen at All In. Is this going to be the match? Are we going to get a rematch, or is it going to be MJF? We have to wait and see. And that's why we like AEW right now, because we're curious. I need to know what's going to happen with this story. I'm sure DJ Storms needs to know how this is going to play out.
I'm probably going to go out and say that you may be right in the sense that Swerve's going to retain. You may be right in the sense that we could get a rematch at All In. But then I'm going to pitch the question. Well, if you were going to do Swerve and Will Ospreay at All In anyway, why did you give Will Ospreay the international championship? And why didn't you just continue to build up Will Ospreay in a program with his former Don Callis family members and then just do Will Ospreay versus Swerve at All In anyway?
I wouldn't be surprised if they literally put the title on him just to kill TV time, because if you put the title on another guy, that's a whole segment you need for him. If the title's on Will's in the main event picture, that takes care of that storyline scenario, because I'll tell you something. AEW is crunched on time. Every fucking Wednesday night, they push a lot of shit in, man.
That's a problem.
Now, so this is my question of both of you guys. Who do you personally want to have to win the title? Will it be Swerve or Will
Swerve?
Ospreay?
Yes, because he deserves.
You would truly want in your heart Swerve all the way.
Yeah, because he deserves
even though you like
title reign. Again, I'm a guy that advocates for long title reigns. These short title reigns, they devalue the title.
I'm going with Swerve, man, because I swerve when I drive.
If you had Will Ospreay, you wouldn't mind if that was the call. Like,
I just don't want to see Will lose clean. I don't want to see Will lose clean. Will needs to lose. It needs to be a grimy loss. All right, Don Callis or somebody screw his ass. Maybe even MJF.
I'm just trying to make a point that more people on Will Ostrich than Swerve, even though
what does he have to do for you to stop calling him Ostrich? Because that shit is like
that's not gonna stop. I'm just saying. I just want to prove a point that more people are on Will's side than Swerve's side. Even though
Brian Myers right now cutting a promo.
When
Brian Myers cutting a promo on TNA. I didn't even catch the finish.
I will be right back.
Who won that match on TNA? We're supposed to be watching it. Oh man, I shit the bed. I think, man, I don't know, man. I think Sami Callihan might have won that match, but we are going to see MJF next week on Dynamite. Okay, so I'm looking forward to that, and we're also going to see. This should be a great match on paper right here. Storms. I mean, I would be like a year ago, not even. When was Kyle O'Reilly killing it on AEW? Like maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah, it was 2 years ago when he was with Bobby.
He was like killing it, right? Like putting on the best matches of the night. If you told me about this match, like from that point on, we're going to see that Kyle O'Reilly. Damn, bro.
I did love what they did with Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong. That was a very good match at Dynasty. And I would have loved to have seen Roderick Strong do a little bit more work with the international title, but I understand why they put the title on Ospreay, because Ospreay is going to make that title feel more important, and he's going to do it again with Kyle O'Reilly. I'm looking forward to this because Will Ospreay, every single time that he says he's on another level, I mean, he ain't fucking lying.
Listen, I'm a big fan. I'm not going to argue with you there. Steven Chambers, I heard about that too. Dynamite moving to 3 hours. I guess we have to wait and see. They can certainly fill the 3 hours. I assure you of that shit. With wrestling and promos, no problem. They have plenty of it. Right now, we're watching TNA, and I believe we got Steve Macklin out here. And he's got a match, I believe, against Santana, who, by the way, they've been pushing on TNA. Santana, formerly from AEW. Another guy I thought they should have had a tag team title run when they were in the Inner Circle, like in the beginning of AEW's run. They looked like a legitimate tag team threat, and we never got to see it. It always bothered me a little bit.
Yeah, that actually bothered me too. I mean, that is that's not up for debate. Steven Chambers, MJF versus Adam Cole at All In. Yes, in my eyes, if we're gonna do top 3 big matches, it's MJF and Adam Cole unsanctioned match. It's Ospreay Pac international title and Hangman and Swerve Part 4 for the World Championship. That's your big 3 for Wembley at All In. That is going to generate buzz.
Well, here's a look at your upcoming Rampage. A good look at your international champion right there and his friend from New Japan. Forbidden Door, going to be local. We'll see if we have to go. But that was Dynamite. As far as AEW goes, last week, this was your look at Collision. This was your look at Rampage. And, of course, we have the results for you. But first, a few screenshots of the action. Willow Nightingale, Chris Statlander defeated Anna Jay and Alex Windsor. Okay. What else we have over here? We have Pac defeating Rocky Romero, which, come on, we knew that was going to happen. But look at Pac. He looks great. Did you watch Rampage? Did you watch Collision?
Yes, I did.
You always watch, right?
Yeah, I always watch. By the way, Roosh is fucking great. One thing that we need to do, let's get Roosh in there with Okada for the Continental Crown and just fucking let him go.
I'm okay with that. Yo, Okada's been so money lately on the mic and in the ring, so he's been killing it. Here's a look at the action from the Roosh match. Jay, I think you watched Collision. I don't think you watched Rampage. Samoa Joe was in action versus some guy named Dom Kubrick. He kicked his ass, and that's all you need to know about that. Here's some screenshots of him kicking his ass. And we'll keep it moving. AEW Collision now. John Moxley would kick things off, and he would get his ass kicked from Takeshita. But, don't worry. He would get his revenge the next day. AEW Collision. Claudio Castagnoli, Daniel Garcia would have a mystery partner defeating the Righteous and Lance Archer. Their mystery partner was, I can't even remember this guy's name, but he's a superstar in New Japan.
Hiroshi Tanahashi.
There we go, bro. That's why you're here.
One shot, too.
That was money. Lucha Bros versus the Guns, and of course the Lucha Bros would pick up the win. Here's some shots from the match. Willow Nightingale, we would hear from her because she was going to have her big match against Mercedes Moné. Kyle O'Reilly was in action against some guy named KM. He kicked his ass. I guess that's good news. Legit Layla Hirsch took on Mariah May. My girl Mariah May did what she's been doing, and she kicked that ass. She whooped that ass, and she looked fucking good doing it, okay? Looking really good doing it. Brian Danielson, FDR, beat up Santam Singh, Jay Lethal, Jeff Jarrett. Pick up the match on Collision. There's a little shot of the action. But now let's talk about what I know DJ Storms is waiting for. So, DJ Storms, I'm going to just pass it to you, and I'm going to play the slides. And if you want, read the results, and then, just go off on the pay-per-view in general.
So, first off, if we're going to talk about the overall pay-per-view, it was a very good show overall. However, there were a couple things that were wrong with the show. Certain matches you could have moved to the pre-show to help save time. Little too long in terms of time management. Thunder Rosa and Deonna Purrazzo, decent match for what it was. Deonna needed the win more. She was the right winner here. I don't think that this is the end. I think that we'll see one more match between these two women in the opening round of the Owen Hart Cup tournament for the ladies. And I do think Thunder Rosa is going to get the win, and she's going to end that program. There's some nice shots right there. Deonna Purrazzo, got to support my Jersey girls. This match, the Acclaimed versus the Cage of Agony, easily could have been moved to AEW Collision. That was not made.
That match could have been put on Ring of Honor, man.
Listen, it was a fun little match for what it was, but if you wanted to make the pre-show feel more important, you should have put the Trios World Championship.
How about this, Storms? This match was so fucking unimportant, they couldn't even fucking make a graphic for it.
Yeah, I know, right?
By the way, what's their name? Gates of Agony or Cage of Agony?
The Cage of Agony.
It's
Toa and Khan are the Cage of Agony. Or no. Toa and Khan are the Gates of Agony, but then you put Brian Cage in there, and now they're the Cage of Agony. But, like I said, should have been on Collision. You should have moved the Trios World title match to the pre-show, just like you did for Dynasty, and it made the pre-show for Dynasty feel more important. And you should have moved the FTW Championship match to the pre-show as well. Those 3 matches on the pre-show would have made the pre-show feel more important, and you would have wrapped up at around 11:45, 11:50, which would have been much better for everyone else overall. Will Ospreay, he took on Roderick Strong. Great match, and the best part about this match, did not go too long, and they did not burn the crowd out from when the show first started, which was a very good decision. This was not a 30-minute Will Ospreay classic, but they gave you just enough for it to be considered a great match. Again, would have loved a little bit more from Strong, but Will Ospreay, he is one of their top baby faces right now. He is your new international champion. Crowd was definitely hyped up for it. That was a great Sky Twister press right there. Will Ospreay, he can do things that shouldn't even be possible to do in a professional wrestling ring. And the guy is very, very muscular. It's not just some rinky-dink pencil guy coming down on you as well. MJF, he returned. He is officially back. Huge pop, massive fucking pop. One thing I will say is this: the return, epic. But the promo should have been saved for AEW Dynamite to make AEW Dynamite feel more important. And again, like I've said before, would have saved some more time. This match I can see happening at All In. But as far as MJF goes, I am going to make a bold prediction here. I think MJF is going to be a part of the Owen Hart Cup tournament for the men, and he's going to go to the finals against Hangman Adam Page, and he's going to lose because of Adam Cole's interference, which then will set up the match at All In.
Not a bad take right there. Okay. Yeah, you're right. MJF did look great.
He looks fantastic, dude. I'm telling you. It's like he almost never even left. He's got a new tattoo as well. Crowd is absolutely ecstatic that he's back, and he is done playing nice. He is done giving people his trust. We got ourselves the Owen Hart Cup tournaments back, and a great decision by Tony Khan to make both tournaments #1 contenders tournaments, where the winners will go and fight their respective male and female world champions at All In. That should be a consistent thing going forward. That needs to be a yearly tradition, and it should absolutely lead into AEW All In. And I'm picking Hangman Page, or on the women's side, you got 2 choices. You could swing either way. Some people are saying Mariah, but I'm throwing in a dark horse pick. I'm throwing in Jamie Hayter. You never know.
Okay, we are watching TNA right now, and Steve Macklin is taking on, I believe Sami Callihan won that match. I could be wrong. It looked like he did. I don't think he kicked out of that Death Valley driver. But right now we are watching, I believe Santana is taking on Steve Macklin. Hard-hitting matchup. We'll keep
a good match
on the results.
I'm happy,
NBA
boys.
Game.
I'm happy. I got my empanadas.
I'm not happy about that goddamn echo. Dallas Mavericks are up right now 35-19, but back to double or nothing. And what DJ Storms thinks of this next matchup, we had the Bang Bang Gang defeating Death Triangle. Storms, take it away.
Very good match, like I said, but I still think that this should have been on the pre-show because it would have made the pre-show feel more important. But this was still a very good match for what it was. Only went about 13 minutes, and we got the return of Rock Hard. Get your mind out of the gutter, you fucking savages. Rock Hard, Juice Robinson, and Bullet Club. Bullet Club Gold is complete once again. Jay White, he's doing his thing. He is making the AEW World Trios titles feel more important. And the Guns, again, shout out to the Guns. Their progression has been fantastic. I'm glad that we have Death Triangle back. And I want to see a one-on-one match between Pac and Jay White. Just let those guys cook. Jay White, as you can see, he is fucking chiseled. Ray Phoenix, very, very happy to have him back. So I'm very, very much looking forward to seeing who else they put up against the Bang Bang Gang. I would love to see the House of Black. Love to see the Cage of Agony. Maybe throw in the Blackpool Combat Club in there. There are a lot of different trios that you could put in there against the Bang Bang Gang. And I do believe that they'll probably be losing those trios titles at All In. I don't know who, but we'll have to wait and see. What else you got for me, Savage? Look at that shot. Beautiful shit. Toni Storm and Serena Deeb, they had their match for the AEW Women's World Championship. And Toni Storm, ever since she had that match with Azumi on Collision, she has been killing it as AEW Women's World Champion. She found that nice, healthy median between character and in-ring ability. And Serena Deeb brought out that old version of Toni Storm. This was an excellent women's match. And if you were to tell me that this was Toni Storm's best title defense to date, I would not look at you weirdly. This was excellent from start to finish. Serena Deeb, very, very, very underrated. Toni Storm retains, and she is either going into All In against Mariah May or Jamie Hayter. You could take your pick. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Is it going to be Mariah May, or is it going to be Jamie Hayter, or is it going to be someone else that I haven't even mentioned yet? Let me know.
I want to see Britt Baker back in the mix, but that match we were watching on TNA between Santana and Macklin just got thrown out because these two guys in green camo just showed up and started kicking the shit out of them. Maybe Jay could help us out with who the hell they were, because I don't know. I just know that match is officially thrown out. Toni Storm looked great in this match. Serena Deeb looked great. It was a great match. Probably the cleanest wrestling match on the card, to be honest. A very clean wrestling match between two competitive female wrestlers, one of them happening to be the hottest female act in the game today, especially now that Rhea Ripley is on the shelf. When Rhea Ripley on the shelf, you got to say Toni Storm is probably the best active female talent. I'm not going to just say wrestler, like talent, man, because that's what she's doing. She's talented. She's entertaining me. She's entertaining the fans. It's good to see. I like it. This next matchup, curious to see what you think here. I really wanted Trent Beretta to win. Jay, are you still tight about Trent Beretta not winning this? Jay's muted over there. I don't know what he's doing.
It makes no sense. I mean, why would I, book Trent Beretta for the past month as his heel, and he takes the biggest loss on Double or Nothing? I mean, it serves no purpose. I
do kind of agree with that. Yeah, I do think that they should have given it to Trent. However, and listen, I don't want to throw out any shade or any disrespect towards Trent, but Trent is basically in the same boat as Ethan Page. Again, very good wrestler, but there's so many people who are ahead of him. I'm glad that he's with the Don Callis family, though. That makes a lot more sense than Orange Cassidy with the Don Callis family. But the match overall, very good wrestling match. For an undercard match, this really didn't have any right to be as good as it was. This was actually better than their match on Dynamite several weeks ago. I'm glad that this match didn't turn out to be just a typical piss break match. But Orange Cassidy gets the win. I'm not sure where he's going, and I'm not sure how anyone is going to take Trent Beretta seriously, even with the Don Callis family, because, again, there's just so many people who the fans want to see more of rather than just seeing more of Trent Beretta. We'll see where it goes. As of right now, all we can say about it is that it was a very good match, and it did not fuck up the flow of the show. Not like the next match, which there you go. Chris Jericho, Hook, and Shibata. Was it entertaining? You could say so. You could say it was entertaining, but did this need to be on the show? No. Now, I will give Chris Jericho a little bit of credit. I appreciate the fact that they are mixing it up with the black bag, and it's not just thumbtacks every time. And no, I would not want to take a suplex on Dice, or is it Die, however the fuck it's pronounced. I don't know. I'm not a fucking English major. Entertaining match, but did not need to be on the show. Fucked up the flow of the show. This should have been on the pre-show, and it did not resonate. Nothing that Jericho is doing is resonating right now in this current gimmick. Is he leaning into it? Yes. Is he putting a lot of effort into what he's doing? Yes. But is it working like they want it to work? The answer is no. And that is not in any way a knock at Jericho. It's just the fact that people do not want to see him in this very moment. And right now, even though we got Brian Keith, love Brian Keith, it's not really going to do anything for him, even if we get Brian Keith in some solid matches, because right now, Jericho, he is just not hitting it like he usually does. There's some highlights right there. We got the Walls of Jericho. Savage, you are muted.
I was just saying he definitely hit that lion tamer right there. Had to mute it because I think the boy is screaming for something right there. He's trying not to go to bed. That's what happens when you have a little kid. They don't want to go to bed. They don't want to go to bed. You know who should have went to bed? Edge. May not have gotten hurt. We'll get to our next match. Jon Moxley beating up Takeshita. And you know what? I didn't like this shit. Takeshita to me is a fucking certified superstar. I've said it before. I'll say it again. In my eyes, he can and should be a future world champion in AEW and in WWE. He's that good. He is the Japanese version of John Cena as far as build goes. He's a big guy, 6'4", heavy body, can fly and move in ways that his body shouldn't be able to. He moves great. He hits great. Has insane moveset. It has the look. I don't know, man. I don't know. But Moxley,
can I just say something?
Moxley, yeah, Moxley's fucking Godzilla. That's all I wanted to say.
I just want to say something. I want to quote from the great Takeshita. Since arriving in America, if you would have asked what I found enjoyable, there's been nothing. In my heart, I already thrown away the joys of wrestling. So I'm going to have to disagree with Savage's take on him being an AEW World Champion because it's not going to happen.
Yeah, because he's not being treated properly. But Storms, as you can see, Moxley out here pretty much coming out with one fucking arm, still able to beat, in my opinion, the alpha of AEW, pound for pound, maybe the best wrestler on the roster. Can go with anybody, including Will Ospreay or Kenny Omega or any of these fucking guys. What did you think?
This was clearly a political move by New Japan and a slap in the face to DDT Pro Wrestling. Listen, the match was physical, as expected. You weren't going to see this match and not get a physical match between these two. But in the end, the crowd semi-taken out of it because of the Jericho match, number one. And number two, the ending made Takeshita look like a fucking idiot. How are you going to have Takeshita listen to Don Callis to get a chair, only to get curb stomp on the chair and then receive a Death Rider? If anything, you could have saved this match for an AEW Dynamite or a Collision. Because when we're going to talk about this overall, even though Jon Moxley is great at what he does, Takeshita's great at what he does, we did not need Takeshita in the scenario where he's going to take a loss, especially when Jon Moxley, he's doing his thing in New Japan as the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. You know what they should have done? If you wanted to get Takeshita on the show, you should have given us Takeshita versus Claudio, because Claudio, he's great at what he does. He could take a loss. Takeshita needed a win more. Now, I will say this. With Adam Copeland out, this is the perfect time to crown Konosuke Takeshita as TNT champion. He was the guy that I had penciled in to beat Adam Copeland for the TNT championship anyway at All In. Why? Because Takeshita's a fucking beast and he deserves better treatment. He deserves to be christened a top-tier young talent here in AEW. It's time that they invest in him. So I am calling Takeshita to become the new TNT champion when we get to Forbidden Door.
I like it. I'm with it right now. We're watching TNA Live. Mustafa Ali getting in the ring with his personal security, about to take on Leon Slater. They've been talking a lot of trash. We'll keep you posted on the results of that match. But I'll say this. I just came to me. A Tiffany epiphany, perhaps. MJF is not only going to win the Owen Hart tournament and get his shot, but I think he's going to bang Mrs. Hart.
Banning Martha Hart. My God, can you imagine MJF ripping Martha Hart a new asshole?
Listen, that ring rat is going to be coming out of a hotel room, and I can see the vignette now, and he's going to be like sucking up a little bit, maybe to get like an advantage in the match or something. Maybe. I don't know. I'd like to see it. Bang that rat, MJF. You can do it.
He's absolutely watching this right now.
Probably is, but we are watching TNA. We're watching a lot of things. There's a lot going on. If you're under a rock, then you know that the NBA is on right now. And we have a big game between the Mavericks and the Timberwolves. And the Timberwolves are getting their fucking asses handed to them. And right now, let me just say this, all right? we're gonna finish off Double or Nothing, okay? Because I need to know what Storms thinks about the rest of the night and what we saw, because there's still a few more matches. But I'll say this: Takeshita does Moxley's finishing move better than Moxley.
That was great.
Here you go. Adam Copeland taking on Malachi Black. He would pick up the win, but was it worth it? Was it worth it, Storms?
Well, when it comes down to it all, the match itself, nothing match of the year worthy, but they gave you enough brutality for it to be considered entertaining. A lot of good spots in this match. Adam Copeland, listen, at the end of the day, the spot was not executed properly. He either could have executed it better, or he could have just taken it out of the entire match production overall completely. Either way, listen, sometimes you take a risk, sometimes it doesn't pay off. It's pro wrestling, it's not ballet. Could have executed it better or not done it at all. In the end, I had Copeland winning. He did. It sucks that he got hurt because Adam Copeland, he has been doing some excellent work since he came to AEW. He has been kicking ass as of right now. He has done great shit with Christian. He was doing great stuff when he became TNT champion, fighting guys like Matt Cardona and Buddy Matthews and all these other fucking guys that he's been fighting, Kyle O'Reilly as well. In the end, the fact that he continued to wrestle with a fractured tibia, that was beast of Adam Copeland, and he should be back by the end of the year. Speedy recovery to Adam Copeland. He is fantastic, and he deserves a lot more than just being a TNT champion. I hope that he does come back healthier than ever. Malachi Black, listen, if they want to give Malachi the TNT title, I wouldn't be mad at that. I'm still going with Takeshita, but I would not mind if they give Black the TNT championship. This was a match that many people thought we'd never see. Again, nothing match of the year worthy, but it gave you enough brutality, and we got the return to AEW. This is the second appearance, the return to AEW of Gangrel. Great moment, and he got a massive fucking pop. He looked great. He helps Adam Copeland retain the TNT title. And last thing I'm going to say about this match is the match protected Malachi in defeat. He did not tap. He was not pinned. He passed out. So I'm happy that they protected him in defeat there.
Well, they have to protect him. He's got, in my opinion, the best finishing move in wrestling today. I feel like the Black Mass, the way it connects, the way it hits. He's a heavy hitter. He's someone that should have, I think he should have won this match, especially the way it went down. You might as well had him win this match. But hopefully him losing this match sends him on the path that he needs to be on, which is in the world title picture. He's the leader of the hottest faction that they probably have at the moment, all right, that are powerful, that can kick ass, that win matches. I guess you could call the Bang Bang Gang the trios champions, but I feel like House of Black is better than the Gang Bang. You know, better presentation, better wrestlers, whatever you want to call them. Gang Bang Bang. I can't keep up. I don't fucking care.
Just call him Bullet Club Gold.
I love Jay White too much to watch him carry around trios titles. He should be in the world heavyweight picture too.
He will.
I know.
I want to say this about the wrestlers that are over 40 years old. Why do they believe they could still do stuff like they're 21 years old?
I mean, some of them can.
What is the purpose? Listen, he's lucky he didn't break his freaking ankle. Yet alone how the way he landed. It was devastating. I don't just think these guys should do it, especially Jericho. Like, you don't need to throw your body in a bunch of
I want Jericho to go be a manager, but listen, I don't want to wish anything ill on anybody. I just like Storm says, I wish Edge, Adam Copeland. I still call you Edge because, dude, I saw you wrestle as Edge for so many years. But, dude, you know this guy is special. He is a special.
You know, I hate to say this, but you know I'm with you guys. Black should have won, but I feel like they just want to put it on Jack Perry.
I really hope that they don't do that because
I really feel they just want to put it on.
He really
has never won a real championship.
I want to see what Storms is going to think because I think everybody knows what Jay thought. At this point, everybody knows what I thought. Go ahead, Storms. To me, this was a shit show because I didn't like Willow Nightingale losing the title.
Listen.
I'm not happy with it.
It sucks that Willow's a transitional champion, but you cannot deny the work that these two put together. If you are going to deny the work that these two put together, then I don't know if you should be talking about the sport. That was a great pounce right there. Mercedes sold the shit out of that. Both of these two women, they put on a match that was better than their match last year. Again, the only thing that sucks about it is the fact that Mercedes Moné, She won her first match in AEW, and it was a championship match. She did not earn her way into a title match, and they merely gave her a title because of her name value, which they should not have done. Other than that, I mean, the building promos to this match, they were very solid. Willow played her role well. Mercedes played her role very well. And Mercedes is going to be that bitchy heel going forward. If not, she could play a little bit of a tweener. Either way, Mercedes, she matched Willow's intensity. And even though Willow Nightingale is a transitional champion, which is garbage, I am going to hold out on complaining too much because they are giving her something to do following her loss. It's not just about losing. It's about how you are booked following a major loss. And they're giving her something to do with her former best friend, Chris Statlander. I do think the heel turn is going to do Chris Statlander very good, and it's going to get Willow more over as a babyface. Like I said, that is one of your opening round matches for the Owen Hart Cup tournament for the ladies, and I do think Chris Statlander is going to get that win over Willow Nightingale, and maybe we get a little bit of a women's street fight between those two at All Out. I think that's a good place for it.
Yeah, listen, I just couldn't get into this match because I knew what was going to happen. It's one of those matches, one of those scenarios where you go into it and you know the results, you know what's going to happen. Hard for me to get into a match where I know they're about to bury a girl.
Great match. Come on.
Maybe it was a great match, but it was hard for me to get into it because I know I'm going into it knowing they're going to bury a girl that's been killing it right now. And whatever. Maybe, yeah, to you, they didn't bury her because it was a competitive match. And she put up a fight, but she still took the loss. They took
but
the
they're giving her something to do, though. Like,
I know. But I'll say this. I feel like Mercedes Moné within 6 months is going to be getting booed, like hard.
She says she's the greatest of all time.
She's being a heel. I told you, she's going to be a bitchy heel.
And this pissed me off mainly because it should have been the main event. You have the world title on the line. He's your world champion. Fuck the Bucks, EVPs, all this bullshit, anarchy in the arena. This is your fucking main event. That's your world heavyweight champion. Stop disrespecting him on Dynamite. Stop disrespecting the champ on pay-per-views. The champion should always be main event. Storms, what did you think about the match?
Listen, I do agree it should have main evented, but I don't think you can necessarily say they're disrespecting quote-unquote Swerve when he's having great matches like he is. And above all else, the guy is winning matches clean. Normally, you see a lot of these people, they're in championship matches, and they're getting these fluky wins. They're getting these wins where they don't look convincing. But when it comes down to Swerve has been winning matches clean. He's been winning matches consistently. He's looked strong at every single chance that he's gotten, and they're not having Nana get involved. Now, as far as Christian and Swerve goes, the build towards this match, easily the best build going into Double or Nothing. Christian Cage, he's been doing the best work of his entire career, and Swerve, he is fantastic at what he does. Swerve right now was the guy, and he put on a great match with Christian Cage. Really, really good back and forth between these two. In the end, Swerve gets the win. That house call in midair, fucking brilliant. Fucking brilliant. Flush as flush could be. Excellently done. Nice Swerve stomp. One last house call. Swerve gets the win. Great match. And the triple main event, as they were hyping it up as, I think it's cringy, but the triple main event absolutely delivered. We had a great match with Willow and Mercedes. Great match with Swerve and Christian. Swerve retains the championship as he should. I do believe that we are headed down the route of Christian versus Killswitch, a.k.a. Luchasaurus, at All In. We'll see how that plays out. But listen, even though it didn't main event, still great match, and Swerve looked fantastic.
I liked the match. It was a good match. But now we get to the main event. You have the Elite versus, I guess, Team AEW, Eddie Kingston. What is this? FTR, Bryan Danielson, Anarchy in the Arena.
And it was fucking chaotic, and I loved every single second of it. And now listen, if I was to criticize one thing about this match, it's the fact that Bryan didn't really make sense in this match. Now, I'll tell you why. It's not that he doesn't have any history with the Bucks, because he does, but he doesn't have any current day beef with the Young Bucks. We had Darby. Darby, he took the place of Eddie Kingston. Darby had current day beef with the Bucks. FTR had current day beef with the Bucks. Bryan did not. He was merely put in there because Kenny Omega is out with diverticulitis. Thoughts and prayers go out to Kenny Omega for a speedy recovery. He recently just had surgery. As far as this match goes, This was probably the best anarchy in the arena that they've ever done. We had the final countdown playing in the beginning. We had Darby diving off of mezzanines. We had Jack Perry getting dunked in fucking ice coolers. Darby getting quote-unquote run over by a bus. Jack Perry gets set on fire. Excalibur selling the shit out of this. And by the way, Jack Perry's got some fucking balls to take something like that. You could not pay me enough money to get lit on fire in any single fucking scenario. Darby Allin's hanging upside down. Matthew Jackson and Nicholas Jackson, they're diving off the tunnels and off the stages. And Okada's doing rainmakers with sleeves with tacks on them. Fucking crazy shit everywhere. And I shit on WWE for this. I can't shit on AEW for this because AEW, they treat their young stars right. Out of all the people who got the winning pinfall, it was Jack Perry by beating Bryan Danielson with his own move. Now, I really do hope that they don't give the TNT title to Jack Perry, basically because Jack Perry right now, he's got his own spotlight. He's with the Elite. He's already got a lot of momentum behind him. He just got the winning pinfall in the main event of Double or Nothing over one of the big stars in wrestling ever. He does not need any extra spotlight with the TNT title. Again, overall, very good show for Double or Nothing, but the time management and certain matches, they didn't belong on the show. The promo with MJF could have been saved for Dynamite, but it was still a thumbs-up show overall.
Yeah, well, a lot going on. Obviously, Forbidden Door right around the corner, June 30th. A lot to look forward to.
Moose
we got a huge match. Moose coming out right now. We're watching TNA, and I see Mustafa Ali over here. He looks in full control.
Up next.
Jay's a little ahead of me right now. Mustafa Ali, I'm sure, is about to pick up that win, Jay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we know the results of this match, which is good.
Sorry, I'm ahead, y'all.
No, you're okay. I'd like to be ahead. Please help us with the TNA, man, because I got so much to do between the slides and all the conversation we got to talk about between AEW. We talked about King and Queen of the Ring. We talked about Dynamite. We gave you the results of Collision and Rampage. And why not give you the results of a WWE, that other big company, right in Hartford? We had SmackDown. All right, you had Nia Jax defeating Bianca Belair in Queen of the Ring semifinals. You had Carmelo Hayes and company over here going nuts. They would end up having a match where LA Knight and the Street Profits defeat 8-Town Down Under and Carmelo Hayes. It's nice to see all those guys in the ring. I didn't like this promo that much. Like Storm said, a lot of these promos all fell flat. I only liked the one where he had his uncle with a lawyer. Bailey defeated Chelsea Green. Randy Orton defeated Tama Tonga to advance for the King of the Ring. And then we go to Monday Night.
That's for SmackDown.
You know, after King of the Ring, we already went over King and Queen of the Ring. You know, we get to Raw, and you have Gunther. He is your King of the Ring. There is not going to be a rematch. Ref's decision's final, and that's the way it is. So now we set up Gunther versus Damian Priest, and that would quickly turn into Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest, which we're going to get at Clash at the Castle. So real quick, I'll just do a round table. I think Damian Priest is going to retain the title. Jay, what do you think?
Damian Priest.
You still? Okay.
Yes. You want to know how? You
Sure.
want to know how? With the interference of CM Punk. And we're going to get
100%.
CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre at SummerSlam. And Priest is going to be dropping that championship to Gunther. I do believe that Braun Strowman will be the one fighting Priest at Money in the Bank as well.
Do you think they're going to keep Punk off of TV until that moment where he screws Drew McIntyre?
I wouldn't mind if both guys were in July for Money in the Bank to duke it out for the briefcase, and they just give us a little preview of what we're going to get at SummerSlam.
I do think that they should keep Punk off TV. Like, put him out of your mind. Put him out of your mind.
He hasn't been on Raw for 2 weeks now. So I think leaving him out, like you said, out of the mind is the best way to set up that moment.
How long he's been out of action now?
Since the Rumble.
6 months or?
Yeah, close. 5 months.
5 months?
Yeah.
Braun Strowman in action. He doesn't care about Damian Priest. No respect to the world champion. He thinks he should be the world champion. Interesting standoff here. Is that a potential match we'll see down the road? I don't know, but we did see JD McDonough lose to Braun Strowman, but it was nice to see JD McDonough do what he does, which is be a technical superstar and show you that even he could break down the monster among men, bring him down to his knees, bring him down to the ground. It was nice to see Braun Strowman selling for JD McDonough. It just shows me how much they believe in JD McDonough that he is a boy. He is part of the locker room. He is a worker. They know he can deliver the goods. Big time matches. I see a superstar in JD McDonough. He's paying his dues right now, and those dues, I guarantee you, both of those bumps fucking hurt. Obviously, you can't hurt Braun Strowman with a steel chair, so I don't know why you even try. I don't want to talk. I don't want to ask Storms about Braun Strowman because nobody cares about Braun Strowman right now until the Wyatt
I
Six.
care. I care.
All right. Maybe you do. I don't. You know why?
He's doing good. He's doing good. He's doing good work.
I want to
He's
know
doing
what
good
DJ Storms thinks about Braun Breaker, who's on Raw, making a bigger impact than anybody has in a very long time. Storms. He's literally pissing on Raw, like marking his fucking territory like a dog, man. I like it.
This was probably one of the only good things about Raw. Like, it's Braun and it's Chad Gable. Those were the top two things on Raw this past Monday. Other than that, the show sucked. But Ricochet and Ilya Dragunov, they had a very good match, resulting in Braun Breaker spearing the shit out of both of them. I don't know how they're going to play this off, but I could see a potential match between Ilya and Braun, or a triple threat match taking place at Clash at the Castle, which would be fucking amazing if that is the case. This was easily, to me, the top highlight on the show. Both of these guys killed it, and Braun Breaker coming on in and just breaking both men in half. It's good TV. It is very good TV, and I'm glad that they're investing in Braun, and I wish they would invest in Braun like they would a lot of the other young talent in there, because there's a lot of talent that should be getting the Braun Breaker treatment, that should be getting a lot of spotlight, that should be in more important storylines, and they're not. Braun Breaker is, look at those Nikes. They look fucking great. I'm going to have to get those at some point, those high tops right there. In the end, Braun Breaker, he is going to be killing it on Monday Night Raw, and I cannot wait to see what he does. And if they want to have Braun be the guy to take the IC title off of Sami Zayn, I sure as hell would not mind that.
It's just interesting to see Braun Breaker out there, and Dragunov's been out there killing it, right? Having these incredible matches, and then you just have Braun coming out and just shitting on him, disrespecting his initial run now in WWE. Like, I don't give a shit what you're doing. I don't give a shit about your banger matches. I'm Braun Breaker. I'm better than you. I'm stronger than you. I'm bigger than you.
Exactly.
This is my house. I'm the king of the ring. It's just good shit.
Everything you said is true.
He is the next Goldberg right now, the way they're cooking him. They're cooking him right. Keep throwing on the spices.
I don't think they're cooking him like that. I just think everything you just said, listen, everything you just said right now is absolutely true. So
what I just saw on Raw,
who's going to take to beat Braun? It's going to be hard.
Braun right now is my early pick for the Rumble winner next year. I would go that far. Like,
I got him being the next face of the company.
He's looking that goddamn good right now on Raw. Very impressive. Like Storm said, that was his favorite part of Raw.
Not now.
We also had AOP defeating the Creed brothers. I guess the Creed brothers are getting shitted on so they can get paired up with Chad Gable when he turned super heel. Sheamus showed up. He was doing something, talking trash. And then, of course, Ludwig not having any of it. They're going to have a program. Lyra Valkyria defeated Kairi Sane. I got to admit, I love Kairi Sane's entrance and dedication to the way she comes to the ring with her look. And, dude, she has the look, man. She's a star. She's a star. I'll say that right now. Lyra Valkyria, though, she doesn't need to be a star because she's the chosen one, man. And that's going to turn her into a star. She's handpicked by Becky Lynch to be the next one.
Like the match either.
Definitely short. Rey Mysterio defeated Carlito. Jay said he was looking a little sluggish. Damian Priest came out there. He's doing his thing. Finn Balor getting some revenge. But Rey Mysterio still doing his thing. I mean,
I have no complaints on Rey.
Talk about another guy, that's like in his golden years over here, and he's still fighting on Monday Night Raw, beating up the young guys, and and taking choke slams from the world champion, which is kind of fucking crazy. Big Bronson Reed defeated Otis. Then this went into a very I think prolonged, a little too long segment, but whatever. Chad Gable needs to be an asshole, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's being an asshole. He's being a bad guy. He's pissing people off. He's a great asshole. He's a great asshole and a great wrestler. Otis got hit with the tsunami. Gable was about to whoop his ass. All right. And Dupree wasn't having it. She stopped him. She said, no. Sami Zayn even came out. And, I got to see this end with Gable as the IC champion. Because if I don't see it end with Gable as the IC champion, then what the fuck is the point of all this fucking long-term storytelling? I mean,
I don't think it's going to happen. I actually think that it's going to end with Otis turning on Chad Gable, and I do believe that we are going to see a guy like Braun Breaker potentially take the title off of Sammy. I mean, they have heavy investment in Braun right now. They could make him the top-tier heel, and there's no one that's going to help Braun Breaker get over more as a heel.
No, you're wrong. You're fucking wrong.
He's a heel. He's just
you're
in the
gonna
middle.
like this. I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen right now. Braun Breaker is your next United States champion when he beats Logan Paul at SummerSlam.
Logan Paul is on SmackDown. Braun Breaker's on Raw. Not gonna happen.
No, Logan Paul can do whatever the fuck he wants.
No, he's on SmackDown. LA Knight's going to be your new
US Savage's world. He can do whatever he wants.
Logan Paul can do whatever the fuck he wants. If he wants to show up to Raw and say, "Who do you think you are spearing all these people? I want to see you try to spear me."
He's just a Logan Paul fan. He's a follower.
I'm not
a follower, but Savage's.
I think the United States title should bind him to both shows, though.
I mean, listen, there should be no brand split, but there is.
They never
find other ways.
There's a brand split in WWE like there's a fucking official record book in AEW. Shut the fuck up. Yeah, that bullshit. There's no record book in AEW.
There should be.
They took it off the website at the beginning of the year. Your boy Tony Khan, the records are back. They're gonna mean something, and within 4 weeks, the number one guy with the number one record isn't fighting the world champion. And then 2 weeks later, oh, that shit's off the website. Don't even get me started on that.
And I complained about that. What the fuck you talking about? I complained about that.
You should complain. It was a shit show. But look.
And I'm going to complain about the brand split too.
Well, Sami Zayn getting a German suplex. Otis not doing nothing to help him. Otis being, loyal. And we'll see how long that lasts. I do think the Creed brothers are going to help Gable. They need it. They need that rub. Liv Morgan defeated Becky Lynch in a steel cage match to retain her title. And of course, the moment that we have to talk about, right? Absolutely crazy. Dom out there. What are you even doing out there? What are you even doing out there? By the way, we're watching TNA, and I believe in Joe Hendry is coming to the ring right now, and I like it. I like it. You know what else I liked? I liked that kiss between Liv Morgan and Dirty Dom, man. Good God. Holy shit. That shit was hot. It was good for TV. Best moment of the night. Rhea Ripley, mommy, definitely fucking pissed off. Good storytelling. Liv Morgan managed to make me care about her again. I didn't give a shit about her until this moment. I was like, that was good. That was good TV.
I always
the match sucked. Now the match was better. The match was better at King and Queen of the Ring.
Yes.
How do you slam somebody's face like 10 times in a cage without bleeding?
No, can I ask a question? How the fuck are you going to tell me? Dude, you know what this ending was? This ending reminded me of a fucking Looney Tunes episode. You had Braun Strowman out there, the fucking Strowman Express. He's running around the ring, and he just barrels into Dom, and Dom, like a fucking domino, crashes into the cage. Domino effect with the cage, hits Becky Lynch in the fucking face, and then Liv Morgan just crawls out of the ring. I mean, holy shit. I mean, you could not have booked a more corny, a more cheesy fucking ending to that match. And WWE cage matches, they all feel the fucking same. No high spots, nothing interesting. It's just blah. But
you gotta have blood. If you're gonna slam somebody in the face a bunch of times, you gotta at least put some blood in it.
Yeah, exactly, right? But of course, it's a PG fucking crowd. All these fucking casual fans, these casual fans who are fucking cancers to wrestling. By the way, I'm going to tell you this right now. Casual fans are not real fans. Why? Because they're not watching because they're passionate. They're watching because they want to kill 2 to 3 hours at a time. They are ruining the professional wrestling industry, and I will stick by that.
And by the way, that definitely wasn't lived up to Lynch and Trish Stratus. That was.
By the way, the Mavericks are whooping that ass. So let's just get that out there. But I need to know. For me, NXT was my favorite show of the week. We're only going from last week's SmackDown all the way till Dynamite. What was your favorite show of the week, Storms?
It's a little bit of a toss-up. The Collision episode last Saturday was not bad. Dynamite wasn't bad. I may have to give the edge to SmackDown because SmackDown, they had very good time management and they did have a very good flow to the show. And we did get some very solid wrestling, especially with Bianca and Nia, and then Randy Orton and Tama Tonga. I'm glad that the young talent on the show, they got a little bit more of a showcase. So I'll probably have to go with SmackDown this week.
All right, special little segment right now. The first person to click on that link gets to be on the Savage Storm Wrestling Super Show to give us your hot take for the week and tell us what was your favorite show of the week between all the shows from last week's SmackDown till yesterday's Dynamite. We can't really judge TNA now, but next week we can include TNA in this selection because we would have been watching it. And, of course, we're watching the NBA. We're doing a lot. We're talking about WWE. We're talking about NWA, AEW, NXT, because, of course, you are watching the greatest wrestling podcast of all time. And just like the Mavs are whooping the Timberwolves' ass, you can go to WrestlingWithSavage.com. It's a great website. And find out everything you need to find out about the Savage Kingdom, Wrestling with Savage, what we do. Go to the site. All right. We have our latest episodes on there. We got the link to the party with Marty, videos we're doing. A bunch of different stuff. You can see my work with Spencer Slade, my client. Obviously, you can donate right there. Big fucking button says donate now. Click on that shit. Give me some fucking money. Go to YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, Spotify, or Discord. We do it all. Or even better, click on events. And you can see all the upcoming events that the Savage Kingdom promotions are working on. We have Diamond Dallas Page, Valentina Feroz. There's a lot of wrestlers that you can meet at the Wrestling Universe, official sponsor of the Wrestling with Savage show, official sponsor of the Savage Storm Wrestling Super Show. Meet all the legends. This is going to be a hot one, man. Tickets are limited for the Brie and Nikki Garcia, formerly known as the Billa Twins, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Booker T, like I mentioned earlier, Jake the Snake Roberts, Boogeyman, Demolition. This is all on one day, too. All those tag teams will be there on November 2nd, And at the end of the year, you can meet the Maharaja. I'll be in the car with Raj Desi, formerly known as Jinder Mahal. A lot of good shit. And even better, go to the shop at the top. Click on fucking shop. And then look at all these brands we have. Come here, you click on this. I don't know. What are you feeling like? Maybe you like Party with Marty. Maybe you like Wrestling with Savage. Click on it. Buy your baby a fucking look at that. Baby clothes, T-shirts, sweatshirts. You need a cooking apron? We fucking got you. Travel bags, thermoses, mugs, hats, all kinds of shit. I have fucking teddy bears. Do you have a fucking teddy bear? I bet you don't. But Wrestling with Savage motherfucking does, and it's affordable because not only is this the greatest wrestling podcast of all time, but you happen to stroll into something different, something new, because I'm not like these cats, and I'm not like the rest of the cats that are broadcasting right now, streaming live, doing watch-alongs or play-by-plays or this and that. I'm actually out there in the shit working with not only professional wrestlers who are on the independents, but fucking legends from all around the world who have been doing it for decades. I don't need to name names. If you know me, you've been watching this show, you can go see who I've worked with. What I'm doing in this business is not like anybody else. This guy doesn't even want to work for WWE. Jay doesn't give a shit. He'll fucking spit in a wrestler's face. The disrespect. But that's why he's on here, because this is Wrestling with Savage. We keep it savage. But Savage, I have different plans. I actually want to work in the world of professional wrestling to make it better, to make it more profitable for the young talent that are out there that don't understand this business. The ones that don't understand how to self-promote, how to build a brand, how to merchandise, how to market, and also how to work. A lot of these guys out there trying to do moves, but they ain't working. And that's where I come in. I come in because I have the experience, I have the knowledge, and the wisdom from the Greek gods. That's why a guy like Spencer Slade believes in me so much so that, like I said, stay tuned, and you're going to see what I'm going to do when I get to the NWA, when I get to the IWC, when I get to ECW, because we're going to bring back ECW. Paul Heyman's bringing back ECW, Jay. But you know what's going to happen? This is what I call, and you can call me fucking crazy, but I'll say this. In 2028, Spencer Slade will be known as the longest reigning NXT champion of all time.
That's going to be interesting. I'm going to have to keep my eye on Mr. Slade over there. As far as I go, you can buy DJ Storm's merch by going through me. Hit me up on all my social medias on X and Instagram at HistoryMakerDJS. You can add me on my personal Facebook as well. For collaborations and business inquiries, please send me an email. My email is StormsTakeOver@gmail.com. like the official DJ Storms business page, and I made you send you an invite to join the official DJ Storms Posse group on Facebook. Hit me up for your wristbands, your t-shirts, and the greatest piece of merchandise that you will ever fucking own. While Savage, listen, he's got cool teddy bears. I got fucking switchblade combs. And if you want to be like DJ Storms, if you want to be delicious, tasty, and succulent, dare I say, if you want to be good, you better hit me up and get yourself a switchblade comb. Because let me tell you something, just like everyone wants a piece of me, everyone's going to want a piece of you. What about you, Jay? Where can everyone find you on social media?
Everybody can find me at Facebook, Instagram, all over Jay. That's Jayy. Get it right. You can catch me there. Now, I don't sell merch, but soon I will make some merch with Savage here. We will get the Mr. Controversial Jay shirt coming soon your way, baby. That's how I roll. That's how I get down. You know what you're watching. The Super Savage Show, Storm. It's live, baby.
And we still got some time left. We're still watching TNA. We're still watching NBA. Make sure you check out the NationalWrestlingAlliance.com. You can check out all their upcoming events. Their next big event's going to be at the new NWA Mid-America Championship in Knoxville, Tennessee. So if you're in the area, some tickets are still available. And if you're in France, you can watch EC3. They're bringing NWA to France, which is fucking crazy. A lot of cool shit, a lot of cool content. Like I said earlier, check out Wrestling with Savage. He's got combs. I got sweatshirts. Pick up a comb, pick up a sweatshirt, have a good fucking time. And I even got shorts. Summer's in season. Wrestling with Savage shorts. You can't really fucking go wrong. Now, the Dallas Mavericks, like I said, they're continuing to whoop that ass. We're watching TNA right now. I believe we're watching
getting the upper hand here on Eddie Edwards.
Yeah. We're watching this match right here. Joe Hendry taking on Eddie Edwards over here. And Joe, you got to think this is definitely Joe Hendry's night tonight. He's so over, and he's a physical specimen. This guy's much bigger than he looks.
Oh, clothesline right there on the outside. Edwards took a bad beat.
Yeah, he did take a bad shot right there, man. Tough fucking sell. We also had NXT this week. If you missed that, crazy week. That's why I picked it as my favorite show of the week. And it wasn't necessarily for the matches, but more for the moments. And there were a lot of moments. The matches, actually, I wasn't even excited for. Definitely didn't enjoy Sexy Red. Thought that was pointless. I don't care about seeing some rapper I've never heard of twerking on TV. Not my deal. Rich Holland, I wonder what's going to happen with him. The Good Brothers are going to be fighting for the NXT Tag Team Champions. But the shocking moment was this. Jordan Grace showing up. The forbidden door opened again. The portal is now open. She has a new shirt. It's available for purchase. Jordan Grace is over. She's going to kick Roxanne Perez's ass, and there's nothing you can fucking do about it, Jay.
I can't believe you got to fucking go through this shit.
Lola Vice is a beast. She's taking on Shayna Baszler at NXT Underground at Battleground. Lexis King loses to Dante Chen again. And Storms, I want to know, what do you think about this? What do you think about Dante Chen?
Dante Chen is actually pretty decent. I don't really know where he's going to be going on NXT, but I'm actually more pissed at Lexis King. They haven't even fucking given him an opportunity to showcase what he can really do.
It's crazy if Ethan Page comes over and has a better run than Lexis King right away.
I know, right?
It's just fucking.
got some news on NXT, and I want to get your thoughts on this. A little bit of a Storms breaking news right here. Fightful Select has learned that Tegan Knox is expected to have a run in NXT. I think that is a great move because she never really got a proper run in NXT. Called up way too early, but I want to get both of your opinions there. I'll start with Savage. What about Tegan Knox getting a run in NXT? What do you think about that?
I'm totally okay with it because NXT right now needs an influx of talent. A lot of talent went up to the main roster, so they could definitely use some new talent. They have some. My favorites right now on the women's roster are like Thea Hale. I feel like Fallon Henley, Kiana James, who obviously got a call up, but we're still seeing her on NXT. Yeah, it would be good for her to come over right now. It's a perfect opportunity for her to showcase what she can really do in some good matches on TV.
Jay, what about you?
I always been a fan of Tegan Knox. I always loved her work. I always loved her when she fought Dakota Kai in the street fight in NXT. She proved what she could do to me. She never got a proper run at all. So I don't mind the run at NXT. I think it's perfect. Sometimes you need to go back in order to move forward. So I love it.
This moment was fucking crazy too. Ethan Page just coming out of nowhere. That's what made NXT so special that night, is because you're watching it. You have no idea, because it's so rare that you get like one of those like surprise moments where you're genuinely surprised. And we got two of them in the same night, man.
And you know what? A lot of people everywhere is saying, "Oh, but Jordan Grace took the thunder from Ethan Page." I'm going to disagree because we've seen Jordan Grace before, so it's not like complete shock and like, "Oh my god!" Like I never seen
no.
it before.
First of all, they knew his
I
name.
thought Page.
I didn't even think they were going to know
Page.
his name. They knew his name. They were chanting for him, man. He's got a shot.
And I think it was a shock to me, and I loved it, and I thought it was a good move.
It was a good news, man. All right,
I got
there
another
you go.
report regarding NXT. If you want to hear this,
Sure.
Let's get through this report right here. Take it away, Savage.
Well, I was just gonna say they had to hide them in a garage, basically, at an ex-WWE superstar, so nobody would know. They were literally hiding in a garage for a few hours, waiting to get to NXT and do their thing. We see Jordan linking up with Shawn Michaels after her shocking appearance. By the way, that merch, there it is, Prohibited Portal. Go pick it up on, I think, TNA and WWE shop. Alexa Bliss says that she has nothing to do with this QR code. I wonder if that's fucking true. I have no idea. Chris Jericho addresses Becky Lynch potentially joining AEW, saying anything is possible. I mean, just look at what we've already done. AEW faces criticism for spontaneous script changes and poor communication, and that's why I'll go to you, Storms. Do you agree with that?
Yes, I don't think that he's changing a lot of the scripts. I think that that's a bit of an over-exaggeration. However, I've said it once, I'll say it again. Communication, structure, marketing, those have been the problems with AEW. And the main problem, like I've always said, it revolves around Tony Khan doing way too much, taking on way too many responsibilities, and it's ultimately going to have a negative effect on your overall product. Tony Khan, he is just way too prideful of his company. And I understand it's his baby. You know, when you create something like that and it's as successful as AEW's been going on 5 years now, of course, you're going to be very prideful, but you can't be so prideful to a point where it's going to get in the way of the quality of your product. And that's when it comes down to, you got to take a step back and you need to address that you need help. You can't do everything on your own.
Okay. And what do you think about this? Will Ospreay expresses desire for AEW to hire Scott D'Amore?
That would be a brilliant move. I think Scott D'Amore would be a brilliant individual to go and hire to run Ring of Honor. He would be a
Hendrick with the win.
Ring of Honor and make Ring of Honor feel important. He would structure the show better. We could get those 1 hour Ring of Honor shows. Things would flow better. Matches would mean something. And it's not just a bunch of 5-minute matches crammed within 60 to 90 minutes. It would actually have substance if Scott D'Amore was running it.
Yeah. No, I can definitely agree with that. I'm down with that shit. A little more breaking news over here.
Big win for Joe.
Jake Hager gone with AEW. Do you think he's done with wrestling, or is he headed back to WWE maybe, or is he going to go to MMA, or is he just retiring?
What is he going to do in WWE? Let's be honest here. I think he'll probably just go to the indies, make sporadic indie appearances. But in the end, when it comes down to it all, this is just AEW. They're cutting the excess fluff right now. Jake Hager, he's a very good wrestler.
Well, definitely. Look, Arn Anderson, none of these guys want to renew their contracts. They're gonzo.
I mean, at the end of the day, Arn Anderson, he's pretty much gone as far as he can go in AEW. I think it's time that they focus a lot in the talent that they have right now, start investing in that young talent. So it's not a bad thing that these guys are gone.
And we have Alicia Fox, formerly known as Alicia Fox, Victoria Crawford, addressing potentially signing with AEW. She basically stated she's happy where she is right now, working in the indies, working with new talent, meeting new wrestlers, and traveling and having fun. Do you think we see her in AEW one day, Storms?
I hope not.
Okay. Everybody in the back, obviously very upset, very devastated that Copeland is now off the roster due to injury. Like we mentioned earlier, good luck to him. Hopefully he has a successful surgery and he can come back and finish his run in AEW the way he should. I wonder what his last match is going to be. Sammy Guevara, this is a guy that I love. I love Sammy Guevara. I've met him. Nice guy, a good wrestler, one of the pillars. He's gunning for that TNT title right now. A lot of people are going to be gunning for that title. Storms, what do you think we should do with a Sammy Guevara? Is he someone that you would, like, if you had control right now to make a decision, would you put him in the main title picture within the next 365 days or not?
I mean, yeah, you definitely can. One thing about Sammy is he's a very versatile individual. I do think that he could be booked a little bit better. I think that 2 spots that would be great for him is either challenging Okada for the Continental Crown or potentially challenging Will Ospreay for the AEW International Championship. I'm actually surprised that they did not do Sammy versus Will Ospreay after All In last year when we had Will Ospreay and Jericho feuding.
Well, right now we have Matt Hardy, who's teaching Moose a lesson, driving his head in that ring equipment right there.
Crazy.
They have a big match coming up, and against all odds, TNA World Championship will be on the line June 14th, and of course, it's going to be on pay-per-view. I kind of like that they do their pay-per-views on Friday. It's a good relationship to have with WWE. They're not really competing with WWE. You know, they don't do shows on Friday. They do shows on Thursday. Sure, their pay-per-views are on Friday, but listen, only the hardcore fans are tuning into that shit. And SmackDown, everybody DVRs it if they're not watching it, so who cares?
Pretty much. Let me ask you another question. I got one more major NXT report because we
hold on. Before that was crazy. That was crazy. Moose just wrapped the steel chair around Matt Hardy's head with the legs sticking out against the steel cage wall, and he bashed the steel chair right into his head, man. That was unique. But go, Storms. I'm sorry.
That was some good shit. TNA's just about getting ready to wrap up here. We'll probably be wrapping up soon, but I got a major report right here from Fightful again, and I want to get your takes on this. Fightful has learned that Julia from Stardom, she is expected to surpass Asuka's run in NXT. Now, when I heard this, I thought to myself, what fucking drugs are they on? Let me tell you something. I love Julia. Julia is great at what she does, but Asuka had the greatest run out of any women's professional wrestler in the history of NXT. The only woman that came close to Asuka was Shayna Baszler when she was doing her shit as the Queen of Spades and doing her shit as NXT Women's Champion. I'm going to let everyone know this right now. No one, and I mean no one, will ever surpass Asuka's run in NXT as a female talent. And I mean,
I think Mandy Rose had a chance if she didn't get fired because of all the bullshit. But you know,
listen, Mandy Rose, she did what she could there, but her matches did not even come close to what Asuka's matches.
Oh no, we're not talking about matches. I'm just talking about her actual run, her reign, and all that. Like as far as surpassing the days and all that, I think she could have had a shot if it went differently. But yeah, you're right. I don't think anybody else is coming close to that anytime soon. Other news over here, we have Eric Bischoff thinks Hook should go to NXT. Do you agree with that? I know Jay, I think, agreed with it. He wants him off AEW.
I wouldn't mind seeing Hook explore some other options. It all depends on where their priorities lie. It's very, very weird. I can't really get a vibe on what they want to do with Hook because it's a lot of stop and start pushes with him. So I cannot really sit here and tell you, you know what? Yeah, I can see Hook going, or maybe I could see Hook leaving, or maybe I could see him staying. As of right now, I think Hook is a very big question mark. He's great at what he does. He's a great young talent, but I don't know. It's very, very hard for me to predict. This is actually one of those cases where I can't give you a straightforward answer.
Okay. Well, we'll have to wait and see how that's going to play out. The Young Bucks obviously making a lot of money off their Reebok shoes, so congratulations to them. And I think this is a match we need to see because I think this is actually a money match. There's story there, there's history there. There's a lot that they can dig into to build a good feud, to tell a story for a few months. This should be a match that has like a 2-3 month buildup even. Saraya versus Mercedes Moné. We might see it. I don't know when, but this is a matchup I'm actually interested in. I don't know if you guys feel the same.
I think that it would be a very solid match for All In, but I still think a match with Britt Baker, that would be better from a wrestling perspective.
All right. Yo, I gave the link out, by the way, guys. This is the last chance, okay? Somebody could come onto the show right now because I know a lot of you have asked, can we come on the show? Well, here you go. The link is in the chat. Click the link. Join the stream. Get your minute of fame here with DJ Storms, with Savage, with Jay. All right, the greatest wrestling analysts of all time, because that's what we're going to do every week. We proved we can do it here tonight within 2 hours. We talked about TNA. We talked about AEW. We talked about WWE. We talked about NWA. The only thing we didn't talk about too much, and I think we're going to have to remove this from the show because I just don't think there's enough time and it would be disrespectful to New Japan Pro Wrestling, which, by the way, it's very hard to even find out what's going on in New Japan Pro Wrestling if you don't watch every single show, because there aren't a lot of websites that provide good coverage for me to do the proper research to bring you the information, which would, you'd want to know about. Basically, it's very difficult. It's
Either way, I mean, dude, we fucking crushed this shit. Let's be honest, we fucking crushed this shit.
Yeah, I agree. I think so, man. All right. Real quick before we wrap this up, we are watching the NBA Finals right now. It is the Western Conference Finals, and this is a slaughter right now. I'm pretty sure this game is over. If Anthony Edwards can come back from this, then goddamn that kid deserves it. But I don't see it happening. Listen, every Tuesday night, Wrestling with Savage brings you a live watch of NXT every single week. We break down the entire week. That is WWE. And then on Wednesday nights, okay, every week we break down AEW. We watch Dynamite Live and we talk about AEW for 2 hours. And now, officially, it has been done. It was said, it was talked about, we planned, we prepared, and the moment is here. Savage Storm Wrestling Super Show episode number 1 is a fucking wrap. And next week we'll be back. Marty Jannetty, by the way, has a podcast right now. So his podcast is playing right now. MJ Gets Married. It's on the Party with Marty podcast. As soon as the stream ends, go on over to the Party with Marty, and you can watch all the exclusive footage. It's fucking crazy that Savage is on right now. I'm on 2 screens. I'm on Wrestling.
I'm watching it.
I'm on DJ Storm's channel. I'm on Marty Jannetty's channel. I'm fucking everywhere. God damn it!
You're on my Rumble too.
Fucking forget it. I'm on fucking Rumble, man. Go buy merch, buy my merch, buy Storm's merch. Go check out thewrestlinguniverse.com and you can see all their things. I'm not going through all that shit again. I am Savage. That is Jay.
I'm Jay.
That is DJ Storms. And we officially run. We officially run. We officially run the IWC from this moment forward. Savage Storm episode 1. Out of here. Like, share, subscribe. We'll see you guys next time. And a new video coming very soon. For now, here's MJF telling me I smell good.
You smell nice. All right.
Yes, let me do it.
Pedigree, 1, 2, 3, proud to you live as a champ. Our last ride straight to hell, a tombstone, a choke slam. Here to give it to you raw. This is Wrestling with Savage. SmackDown, hold the title. This is Wrestling with Savage. What?
Wrestling with Savage begins now.